vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardee's for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Rewards. The app for terms.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has raked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt woods and irons, Ping G440 woods and irons, and TaylorMade QI35 woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the north. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, a high low to mid-90s. Mainly clear to partly cloudy tonight, overnight low in the low 70s. And we could see a few isolated showers and storms across the north again on Thursday. A high, low 90s north, upper 90s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 45 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here. That's a
sets and deals. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Partner and looking right at C Unit, the Christian Johnston, our producer, here for halftime today. And guys, it's good to be standing here with you instead of wondering if you can hear anything that I say with the issues that, and there's no reason to hide, the stuff that I think our listeners are well aware. If you've been listening on most of our affiliates, if not all of them, over the last 2 days, 3 days ish. The connections have been spotty. Some of the signals have been spotty. Some of the commercials firing off at other times. Everybody's working on this as hard as they possibly can. It's just, I think there could be a fly in the ointment, and there's a big bucket of ointment, and the fly is really, really small. Good morning, Matt Jones. I think you might actually hear what I'm going to say today. I didn't know what you heard for what I said yesterday. Never quite knew.
Yeah, happy Wednesday. That was funny yesterday as far as the last segment. You were like, would it be a radio show where you can't hear each other or a bad round of golf? And I think during that sentence, you cut out twice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
If it cuts out while you're in studio, something's major going on.
I was trying to I was talking to my parents about this, what it was like the last couple of days, and I told where I'm from in Pittsburgh, the same house I grew up in, that was built in 1924. Pittsburgh's a hilly city. That we have basements in that part of the country. I know we don't have basements here, but we have basements there. You can't have a cell phone conversation in the basement, or really the first 2 floors of that house. Just because of the topography and everything, I had to explain it to them. It's like sitting in your basement, Mom, trying to have a cell phone conversation with anybody. Like it gives out 5 minutes into the conversation, and then for however long you can take it, which was basically what it was. I was trying to imitate what a cell phone conversation sounds like yesterday. That's basically what I was doing. I did a pretty good job with it, but I wanted to. I didn't really know what to do.
Can't make a podcast?
No, I didn't know what to do because I didn't. It's like, what do you do? Do you make people sit there and listen to you? There's even the 3 or 5 second lag where I'm finished saying something, and then 5 seconds later, Matt finally's finished hearing what it was that I said. And look, we can have some awkward moments on halftime and all the other shows here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I mean, some of us are like a little bit weird at times, so there's awkwardness. But it shouldn't just feel like 3 hours of awkwardness, which, Matt, that's kind of what it felt like the last 2 days.
Hey, at least we know we can still feel something, even if it's awkwardness.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Why complain about the pain when at least you know your emotions and your nerves work?
Paula J was listening, and she said, "Yeah, y'all were talking to Alyssa, and then all of a sudden she was gone.
Yeah, disappeared into the ether. Just no longer exists. Spontaneously combusts like the Spinal Tap drummers. It's just something you just end up having to live with. That's right. And I'll have to apologize too, because sometimes I really can't help but at least wear my emotions. Yeah, let's say wear emotions on your sleeve. No, when somebody says they wear emotions on your sleeve, it means you can't hide anything about what you're feeling. I've told you, Matt, I have no poker face whatsoever. I'd be the worst poker player in the world because you would be able to tell immediately what I drew based upon the sourpuss on my face, which I know I had yesterday when anybody was watching on our live stream, which right now, as you can see, I'm waving, and I got a smile on my face, and it's a real smile, and I'm not faking it because we're actually going to do this while we're being able to hear each other. So thankfully that'll work. And we don't have to. Now, Wednesdays are usually a day where Clay Henry joins us. Clay will join us normally on the kind of equipment that I work with back home. He's up fishing today. Hopefully his equipment works. His analog fishing equipment will work no problem at all. So no Clay today. We're mixing some things up. We'll have Grant Hall coming up in a little bit. Going to talk with Brett Dolan at 12:15. And then whatever it is we want to get into here on Media Days, which here's the problem about deciding to drive and come in today is there were 2 ways to look at this. Because I felt like, Matt, yesterday, I did the normal amount of prep that I would usually do for a 3-hour show. And like there was no reason to even do any of that prep because nothing worked. So today I'm going the other way around. All right. Just be open and public about that. The prep today was the 2.5 hour drive into the studio.
Well, any good music going on? I did check out. I didn't check out like the All-Star game, but I kind of followed up on that a little bit. You're seeing Sauce Gardner, Aaron Glenn, who was a cornerback teammate of mine in Jacksonville for a year. He just signed Sauce Gardner to the highest paid quarterback in the history of the league. So I mean, there's a lot still going on in the sports world.
Well, the All-Star game was pretty cool yesterday.
Was it the first ever swing off?
The first ever swing off.
When did they start that? I didn't even know they did that.
This is the first time it's ever happened.
Some of the men, they had already went home. Like the starters, like they already start kind of getting their stuff ready. They got to go. They're going wherever. And so when they're calling for the 3 batters that are going to come up to represent the team, you kind of had to just look at your reserves.
Well, I saw that the swing off thing was kept from everybody, or at least if it was printed out there somewhere about here's what's happening for the All-Star game, it was really hidden very well, like that fly in the ointment that I mentioned earlier. But they knew who was going to be in the swing off the day before.
I got you.
So that's what it's so weird though when you think why would you want Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani to be leading the charge for a swing off like that? I mean, they weren't part of the home run derby, so maybe they don't want to be part of that, but they were already gone. You didn't see them. They were showing all the other teammates, and those guys were pretty fired up about it, but the 2 biggest stars on either team weren't even there. They had already headed back to the hotel.
Can we just stay for the 9 innings? I get it. You're representing your team, you're representing yourself, you're representing, it's an honor, to represent baseball. And then just to dip out, I don't know. I kind of disingenuous, I guess. I just kind of, it's like
didn't do anything to help the All-Star popularity.
Yeah,
All-Star game
leaving before the game. Like what? Hang on a second.
Those are long days, when it comes to it. But everybody else sticks around.
That's all. Yeah, that you're going to travel first class. You're going to get right out of there. And I know you had Beyonce's going on, SEC media. I mean, it's crazy in Atlanta.
But I started to realize when it looked like that was a 2-run lead in the 9th inning, and as they inch their way back in, I'm thinking, what? Because they're on the National League's on the last pitcher. There's no pitchers left. We're not going to have position players pitch in the All-Star game. So they must be doing some kind of a home run derby at the end. Because what else are you going to do? And the next thing I thought when they actually put it into action, because they do this with exhibitions. They show you what the future of the game may end up looking like without really telling you. That's the automatic ball strike, but they're telling you that that's what the game's going to look like next year because they instituted that at spring training. And the challenge has worked really well. I actually like this challenge system. It's fast, it's quick. They let you know who made the challenge, and it takes no more than 5 to 10 seconds tops. And the umpires also don't look burnt when it's obvious that they missed it too. I thought maybe they'd have a sour puss. But it hit me that they're going to do this, and then I'm thinking to myself, I like this idea in an exhibition of a home run swing off. That was really cool last night. Can we just make sure it stays in exhibitions only? I was talking earlier today about that with somebody that said, well, I hope they never do that in a World Series game. How about we never do that in any other game except the All-Star game only? Because that's not even a shootout like in hockey or in soccer, Matt, because then there's a goalie that's trying to stop you. There's nobody that's trying to do anything on the other side except throw you a fat pitch. And I don't like it for anything outside of an exhibition. But in terms of yesterday, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you wonder if the NFL, with their overtime rules and having tie games, if they don't institute some type of like 50-yard field goal, at the end of a tie, where you kind of go back and I don't know how far you would get it to go, because is it the amount of home runs, or is it who hits the farthest home run in the All-Star game?
Well, it was the amount. Every batter got 3 swings, and I mean the highlight turned out to be not the comeback by the American League, but the comeback in the home run swing off by Kyle Schwarber. They're down one.
He's first pick on my all softball team. Schwarber, no question about it. That's who I'm picking first.
It's tailor made for him, absolutely made for him. And so he steps up there. They're down a home run, and he ends up. And you don't have to swing at every pitch. And there were a couple of them he looked at. He's got the look on his face like, damn, where's let my pitch go? And then hits the next one 3 miles. And this is the weirdest aspect about it. Schwarber is the MVP of the All-Star game, Matt, for hitting home runs in a batting practice. Nothing that actually happened in the 9 innings of the game. Like, the American League could maybe get Brent Rooker because his 3-run homer announced their comeback. I don't know, but it's an oddity here because in this exhibition, the only way you're ever going to end this game would be this home run swing off, and the dude's the MVP because of it. It's a standalone game, and the Hank Aaron tribute, if you didn't see it last night, was incredible. Or the production they've put on, the meaning behind it, you know, his widow being there to watch it, and just the feeling of just an amazing recreation to, in that city, just continue to elevate Hank Aaron to a level that I think we all feel might be ahead of anybody else that still hits some more home runs. And you know how I feel about Bonds because I'm a huge fan. All right. Calls and texts, as long as the fly in the ointment allows the calls, will come in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Grant Hall joining us right after this.
Being a part of the Southeastern Conference, it means more than you might think.
SEC Media Days on ESPN Arkansas is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. And by Lindbergh Real Estate Group, your #1 real estate team in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
From Memphis, Tennessee, number 10, Todd Day. What a slam dunk by the freshman out of Memphis.
All right, so what do you think of the intro? Is that legendary enough for you?
It was great. Yeah, it was legendary.
Don't miss a Morning Rush, only on ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I want to update you what's going on with Jammart, and there are 5 locations in Arkansas. The Greenwood location has just implemented state-of-the-art gas dispensers. Come by and see them in Bulldog Country, next to Jules Bakery. You know I love the full-service deli in Jammart number 10. I'm excited to announce that the Phoenix location is getting one too. If you haven't already, make sure to download the Jammart Rewards app. Become a member and start saving today. Jammart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours. Or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Bred for the mud. Kawasaki Teryx KRX 1000 and Teryx KRX 41000 lifted edition side-by-sides come factory equipped to dominate wet and muddy conditions with ITP cryptid mud tires, elevated dual snorkel air intakes, and Fox 2.5 LSC piggyback shocks. This edition is purpose-built for more mud-slinging good times. Now, weather doesn't stop the adventure. It inspires it.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
I want want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go that far. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Every fly comes down Go California is the media.
Sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Grant Hall with us on a Wednesday morning on Halftime. Morning, Grant. Obviously, you were up late watching the All-Star game and the home run swing-off. What'd you think of the way the thing finished last night?
Well, full disclosure, I fell asleep in the 8th inning. And I saw the results this morning, and I'm glad I didn't have to, sweat bullets over. But I mean, I figured the National League was going to win, and then it was kind of slipping away. So I'm glad I didn't have to worry about it. But nothing about it seems like the way it used to be when I think it was taken more seriously by both teams. But I'm sure it was a good entertainment, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you're talking in trying to have pride in the league or the conference that you play in, I think that went out the window a long time ago. We need all-star games. We need all-star games between college football conferences because the conferences now kind of, although with the player movement, maybe it changed a little bit, but the conferences, college sports is the only place where there's actually pride in the league against the other league now.
I think I lost you.
There we go.
See, Grant, there's flies in the ointment. It's not just one. I think there's multiple flies. There may be a nest. I don't know. But, we missed on the start of your answer there. Go ahead.
Yeah, you went away there for a second. I remember when the NBA All-Star game was really good, and they tried real hard. Now it's the monstrosity that it is. It's just, up and down. But this week is like it's like sports overkill. I mean, besides the All-Star game, you had you've got obviously SEC media days, trying to watch as much of that as I can and listen to it. You've got the British Open run-up, which I've found fascinating because they're at this, rarely used Royal Portrush. Only the third time I think they've had it there in 68 years or something. And then more locally, you've got the Southern Amateur, which I think that probably slipped past a lot of people, but it's starting today at the Blessings. And there's a glittering list of past champions. I was looking at the board today. People who've won the Southern Amateur include Webb Simpson twice, Justin Leonard twice, who's playing the British Open this week, Ben Crenshaw twice, Lanny Watkins twice, Hubert Green, Richard Crawford from Arkansas, and Gabe Brewer, and Harris English won, I think, in 2011. There are 7 Razorbacks, I think one graduate, but 6 current Razorbacks, including John Daly II, who goes off at 2:35 this afternoon. And then Ron Whitaker, who is kind of a contemporary of Jack O'Keefe and David White back in the day, He's from Little Rock, and he just recently won ASGA, and I guess that got him into this. It was great seeing him. So I was out there at 7:30 this morning watching him get ready to tee off. And in his group, Will Gordon of Arkansas and Rhett South, who lives right up here near where I do, near Fayetteville Country Club, and he went to Farmington. So a lot of interest in and that thing's got 100 of the best amateurs in the country, and I think it's free to the public all week. They've got a way for you to park out there at the Blessing. So that'll be going on through Saturday.
That's pretty cool. What have you gleaned from SEC Media Days so far, Grant? What's kind of stood out to you?
Matt, I would say, the first day, there wasn't much news, and so most people talked about this silly Saban rumor thing, I guess Greg McElroy started, and who knows what'll come of that, but
has there really been any news? That's the thing. It's like we've had news, actually like news or something that's brand new outside of the economy of college sports. That's what's new, Grant, and I guess that's kind of the story behind anything else that the coaches say, which is going to be vanilla now, but they're not going to be vanilla about the new college sports economy. That to me and that's why this is kind of a boring media days this year.
Yeah, I think so, and I haven't watched much of it today. I did see, saw the desk interview with the Alabama coach and the Mississippi State coach, and I was struck by some mistakes in grammar by both of those two, which no one cares about that. But Alabama should be a little bit better this year. It feels like they were able to keep more of their guys. It feels like than some other schools were, but. I mean, you were right, Phil. You said last week that Arkansas would be 13th and I think that's where they came out in they got a 0.5% chance to win the conference, which isn't very much.
Yeah, it was the USA Today poll where they came out. No one's talking about Arkansas, even tomorrow when they do speak. And they're going to be speaking. Well, it's not like they're the big time flashy programs out ahead of them, but. That's the Hogs have been a big afterthought so far. And, I wonder if that would have been the same. It looks like they've kind of switched up some of the days from previous years. If Arkansas would have spoken the first or the second day, it's just in football. And it's different than any other sport that we bring up here. They're an afterthought. And you really feel it this week.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I have watched a lot of it, and I have heard no references to Arkansas except the first day, Lieutenant General Clark, who's head of this playoff thing, he spent 38 years in the Air Force, and he was talking about how he was recruited there by Ken Hatfield when Ken was at Air Force, and he had taken his visits. He was kind of headed to, I think, the Appalachian State, and he got out there, and obviously Ken made an impression on him, and then he played for Ken and then for Fisher DeBerry after that. And, of course, Paul Feinbaum inserted two of the great coaches in college football. Really, he really was high on both of those guys, as obviously as Arkansas people are on Ken Hatfield. But I found it fascinating. This guy, he's really inspirational to listen to, and interesting that's where they went to get the guy to oversee this thing.
Hey, Grant, I'm a big-time fan of the British Open. I guess we just call it the Open now. And, Rory getting second place in the Scottish, it's kind of a good tune-up, I guess you've seen over the last, decade or so, players going over there to play that to kind of tune up. And a lot of it is based on weather. Where's luck of the draw, where's your tee time, a morning wave or afternoon wave, is the weather kind of hurt you. What are your thoughts? You think if you said Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler, those two guys are the field, who you taking?
Oh boy, I might. If I didn't take those two guys, I might. If you threw John Rahm in there, I might take the three of those to get one winner. They've all been working a lot, really hard this week, playing a lot because it's not where you usually have this thing. A lot of people are playing more holes than usual. The weather early in the week, it felt like was not going to be too much of a factor, like 15 miles per hour per day, and yesterday was bright sunshine, people in shirt sleeves, which is really unusual over there. Well, now they're saying there's some more wind coming in than they thought. I think 3 of the days the rain chances are 60 to 70%. So that might get in there. And you're right; it might depend on what side of the wave you're on. But it is really beautiful. It's an interesting course, and in fact, the guy that runs the RNA over there, he had a press conference just as we were coming on today, and he was talking about they may go back to Muirfield in, I think, 3 years. They haven't been there since 2013. And then he was asked about Turnberry, and I haven't yet to get the answer on that. But I'm going to watch as much of it as I can, and I think you're probably right. I think Scheffler and Rory and Rahm are all playing really well this week.
Hey, Matt, before I ask Grant this question, you ever have a teammate that was banned from a stadium for maybe doing a little damage to a locker?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Okay. 'Cause I've seen baseball players do damage to lockers, and they were asked to, pay for it, but they were never banned from the stadium. Oakmont has banned Wendell Clark because he destroyed the locker after he missed the cut.
Wyndham Clark.
Clark. I'm sorry. They banned him. They banned him unless, I like this, he pays for damages, makes a, quote, meaningful contribution, unquote, to a charity selected by Oakmont, and undergoes counseling and or anger management therapy.
I'd say he's not playing at Oakmont anymore. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, they didn't like that half-hearted apology very much that he had after smashing one of those historic lockers, that've been there forever. That was not a good look if you saw a picture of that thing. And I fully endorse their decision, and maybe I don't know when they go back there again, but maybe in the next 8-9 years he'll be contrite enough that they might take him back. But he was in the final group last week when Rory finished second, and I heard somebody say today that maybe if it had just been Rory and Goddard, I guess the guy from Oklahoma who won, that might have been a different result. So I guess he's played okay now, but they did that because it's been a little bit, it's been a little while since that happened.
Grant, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on and dealing with a little bit of the technology issues. Great stuff. We'll do it again next week, okay?
Sounds good. See you.
You got it. Grant Hall with us each Wednesday on Halftime. I'm thinking about anger management and golf going together. Can you shout Serenity now? And then now watch this drive.
They got on Tiger when Tiger first got in there, and he was using some choice words. But usually for somebody to throw a fit, they are playing good. If you're kind of not playing good, you're really not going to throw a fit. But if you're playing really well, then something that's when you kind of see the temper tantrum.
That's some Happy Gilmore stuff.
But I've seen golf described as the single most frustrating sport for anybody to play, including the professionals. I mean, it's been described as a long walk ruined or something like that. So how many players actually are feeling like they can control their anger, right? I've not played enough. I feel like I've been Serenity now for the last couple of days. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Thanks to the Fence Man, you can find a fence that stands out and stands strong. Call the Fence Man. They've been serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, custom building one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, or high security. If you need automatic gates, the Fence Man does it, and 18-month financing is available right now. Get a free quote at thefencemanAR.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. Back in a moment. This is Halftime.
There's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. The universe tends to unfold as it should.
This is Halftime.
Fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.
Whoa, that's a first, Dad. You actually got it right. How'd you do that?
Well, I use that Googleator thing.
And we're back.
Anyway, that was shoponrazorback.com.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and I have a plaque to prove it.
Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot jalapenos and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours. Or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Matt, you remember like last year, you're looking at the stats for the Arkansas football team, and what were they in total offense in the nation? I mean, they were top 10. They were number 2, number 3, number 4 for a chunk of the season. But those stats are misleading because of where a lot of those numbers come from. UAPB, the Oklahoma State game, but you didn't score enough points off of those yards either. And it's like any one of those rankings, sometimes it just depends more about how you do against specific teams than anything else, right? So things that this next year, Arkansas, I think, needs to be able to improve upon from last year. And there's so much just, let's have a better offensive line, and, starts right there. But for all the big plays offensively that Arkansas did complete, it felt like in the big games, I mean, some of your major opponents had bigger plays and were able to get past your secondary and not just, have a 60-yard catch, but I'm talking an 80, 85-yard touchdown. Ole Miss, 4 50-yard plays in that game by the Rebels. That's the kind of thing that, individual LSU beat you, not with the run. They beat you with the mid-game. Ole Miss beat you mid-game, deep game. The good teams were able to get back behind Arkansas in many cases. I also think this defense needs to make big plays too. Too much of a short field for opponents because where some of Arkansas's turnovers took place, and never enough turnovers outside of the Mississippi State game created by your defense.
Auburn game too, I think we had a couple turnovers. Yeah. It's situational football is what you're talking about. Matchups, kind of getting to the right play. Whether it be a run or a pass play, seeing if it's a loaded box or not, see if they're in a man coverage. Probably won't play a lot of 2-man with Taylon Green because he can beat you with his legs. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it get going. But you're exactly right. You don't have to. I wouldn't work the stats from the Alabama A&M, Arkansas State, and Memphis game. They're almost like, what was that, 2 or 3 years ago when we couldn't run the ball, and it was kind of, we played that first game and couldn't kind of. So that's we should be fine in those games. Let Cream rise to the top. Go out there and make plays. Those are the games that you look forward to as a player. Like, hey, you're going to be healthy. Go out there and that at most positions out there on the field, you have the better player, and so you get to. It shouldn't be a lot of pressure. Go out there, have fun, and play in those games.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about the Auburn game, but Arkansas last year defensively created 13 turnovers, 10 of them in Auburn and Mississippi State games. Isn't that's 10 of your 13 takeaways in 2 games last year? 2 games you won, and it's not like you got to create 5 turnovers every game. That'd be nice, but at least one would be nice. There was 1 takeaway in the last 4 regular season games. I don't remember what happened in the bowl game, but quite honestly, I don't take anything from the bowl game to this season. Not one thing.
Texas Tech wasn't very. Yeah, they're
good this year.
Apparently,
maybe.
Apparently they are.
Well, they're rich. Compared to everybody else, they have a lot of money.
Like the Cincinnati Bengals playing defense. I mean, they didn't tackle anybody. They didn't swarm to the ball. They were just like, yeah, we got to come out here and do it. It was almost like, if you're going to play a bowl game, you might as well go 7-on-7 and don't tackle to get anybody hurt. That's kind of how we did whatever we wanted to on offense.
Well, you also think of it like you're going, Kobe Branham, did he play in that game? He's supposed to be a right guard. I think he did.
Yeah.
Right. So there's one guy that might be on the offensive line for it. Carmona didn't play left guard. He's playing left guard this year. He didn't play left guard in the bowl game last year. Did Taylon Green complete a pass to a wide receiver that's still with the team? I mean, one. Tight end? Hello? None. You can't take anything from that game on the offensive. Not a single thing from the Liberty Bowl can you take into this year. You can take some of the other things, maybe. Maybe from other parts of the year, but I mean, defensively, I think you got a few more returners.
Well, I think we should be better on third down this year. You have a veteran quarterback. You be able to get into the right play, and essentially that kind of helps keep your offense out there, keeps your defense fresh. You're changing field position. Wonder about our special teams this year. Wonder we got a returning kicker, punt. You don't want special teams to cost you anywhere out there during the season. You just want to be clean and go out there and do your routine plays in special teams. And I know we had a good kicker a couple years ago, but that can win you a game or two. I mean, didn't we go down to Florida and beat them with they messed up on special teams for running 12 guys out on the field, got the field goal kicker backed up, he missed it, and then we go out there and kick a field goal. So, I mean, stuff like that, that can make or break. That can be the difference in winning 9 games or winning 6 games. If you can find a way to win a couple games that are close, makes it look a lot better.
I think it should be between Blake Ford and Charlie Vandermaiden. Vandermaiden, if I remember correctly, is one of the top kicker recruits in the country. 5-star kicker, and rated number 12 by Cole's Kicking and all of that. Ford coming in out of North Texas last year, just did touchbacks, just did kickoffs. So that was it. Basically, you got guys who haven't kicked a field goal in college yet, is at least what it looks like.
This is kind of a random thought, but I wonder if some players, how like NCAA came out and they have starters on that game. Like, I wonder if that's how they kind of find out if they're starting or if that's just a random thing.
Do they not live update that? Because I know when I played Ultimate Team and would play FIFA and you'd play on the interweb where you're playing, and this is 7-8 years ago when I do that. But they would live update that. Yeah, if somebody got hurt, then somebody else would be starting. Do they do that on NCAA?
Yeah, they do that, but that obviously start once the season. But like from here to the beginning of the season is when I'm kind of like they set the rosters on there, and then there's some.
Well, don't we set out? Didn't Tennessee last year set out during spring practice? I mean, there's going to be a roster that they're going to go by, and what they say starters or like it was like either or.
Yeah,
they got to be reading their game notes, right? If they're putting the game together. Text message from Seth and Rogers asking, how is the defensive line going to be better with Landon Jackson no longer on the team? I'm not telling you they're going to be better. I can't imagine you are, but I think there's some ifs there. There's got to be some ifs. Charlie Collins looked like there's something there to work with on the outside. Quincy Rhodes showed a little bit too from the outside. Hopefully those guys are a little quicker, a little stronger, and warrant more playing time. That's hopeful. I've always been interested in Ian Jaffrard, who looks like he's south of 400 pounds now, 6'5", 390. Just to me, you're hoping somebody like that can be a big run stuffer. Bringing this David Oki, looks like a run stuffer, but he's coming out of Abilene Christian. Danny Salee flashed a couple times last year, and then some other moments where he would come close to getting to the quarterback, but you're thinking he might not be fast enough. He's transferred out of BYU. I think there's some. It's not even a matter of hope. There's ifs. And I like Cam Ball. I've always been a Cam Ball fan. I just don't think he's Landon Jackson material necessarily.
Landon, his superpower was setting the edge, and just you had to. He's a run first guy, but he's so tough, and his motor never stopped. Yeah, Landon's. You're just thankful. It's like when you're watching him play, wear that Razorback. You're just thankful that he's a hog, because that dude could have started for just about any team in the SEC.
Well, however it is that you do it, there have to be more opportunities to play on the short field that opposing offenses got more than Arkansas did last year. This is right out of the game notes from last season, scoring drives, and this is before the bowl game. Opponents scored 2 defensive touchdowns. The Hogs scored none. Opponents had that's 5 touchdown drives that were less than 30 yards, and opponents last year had 9 touchdown drives that started across the 50, either on the Arkansas side of the 50-yard line. The Hogs did not have those kind of opportunities. They had 6 drives that finished with a touchdown that started on opponents' on opponents' yardage.
I think they've got to get better at getting opponents off the field on third down early in drives, not like, towards the end when they're already in field goal range. I think you've got to put more focus on that because, you get that's 2 or 3 possessions a game you can save and help your offense.
And in some of these bigger games, there was definitely moments where we would be moving the ball and we'd get on our side of the 40, kind of closing in towards the red zone. And this is what I mean about maturity with your quarterback. So what's the defensive coordinator going to do then on 2nd and 8? Once you start kind of getting, he's going to blitz, and we would have too many negative plays after 6, 7, 8 plays going, and then it brings you out of field goal range, and then it's 3rd and 15. So then it's those we had that happen 5, 6 times. And those are the type of things that I think you clean up with the veteran quarterback, maybe checking to a run play, seeing that it's blitz. Well, where's my man beater? There's just the quicker decisions I think will help us.
And just handoffs, like when Taylor was in shotgun.
Too many fumbles.
And it's not just like fumbles where they're running and the ball gets knocked out of their
at the mesh point.
At the mesh point, stuff like that, where we give them the ball inside the 10 and then we end up losing by a touchdown.
It was so much more than just about the offensive line. Because defensively there were shortcomings, and hey, that's got to be cleaned up. So it's going to be. Look, I think the more you think about it, and you talk about all the replacing that you did in terms of receiving yards, in terms of offensive production, the only Razorback that had multiple takeaways last year, and that's in terms of either fumble recoveries or interceptions. That's right, T.J. Metcalf at Michigan. He's the only one. He had 3 interceptions. I think weren't 2 of them in the Auburn game. Heck, I think all 3 of them were in the Auburn game.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. So it makes sense. There's a lot to replace on both sides of the ball, and that's why Arkansas has had so many more players come in. And I also think that's why I also just can't really come into this season with any kind of a number of how many wins I think this team's going to pull off. I don't think anybody has an idea. But we do have an idea that we'll break here, and you can join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Halftime back right after this.
You don't have to worry, kid. I ain't gonna kill you. You're the only friend I got.
This is halftime.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has raked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Get ready for the 53rd annual 4-ball tournament at Ben Guerin Golf Course, July 19th and 20th. 2 days of great golf, fierce competition, and unforgettable fun. Just $230 per player includes lunch, drinks, and a Titleist gift card as your tee gift. Grab your partner and compete in one of the area's longest-running traditions. It's best ball, so bring your A-game. Register now before it's full. Call Ben Guerin Golf Course at 479-646-5301. When you think golf, think Ben Guerin.
Sharp Equipment is your one-stop shop for heavy equipment. Now with their new location in Van Buren on 3918 Pointer Trail East. Whether your machine's rattling, sputtering, or refusing to start, Sharp's got the parts and expertise to get you moving again. Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Look to Sharp Equipment, an authorized Wacker Newson dealer. Sharp Equipment has what you need. Come see Sharp at their new location in Van Buren across from Mid-South Steam Boiler, or call 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment will help you move more than just the world, but will help you move forward.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. If that wasn't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
She stood there bright as the sun on that California coast. He was a Midwestern boy on his own. She looked at him with those soft eyes so innocent and blue. He knew right then he was too far from home.
Back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
There is another Hardee's Football Triple Lifetime contest tomorrow for 20th Annual Monster Burger Eating Contest, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com. We did one yesterday, going to do another one tomorrow at the Phoenix Avenue location. If you finish your Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, and you at least told C45 Colton that you are trying to enter, you think some people just eat the burger right there at the cashier?
It'd be like going to the DMV and not taking the ticket and just kind of waiting. I don't know.
Here, watch this. Just slow it down. Wait between 9 and 11 to do it, because that's when it'll be there. And if you finish your burger in 150 seconds or less, you're entered into the finals for the Football Triple of a Lifetime. Cowboys, Raiders, Vegas, November. And Colton, you were there yesterday. How many people have actually qualified for this? Because we won't do this until August.
Right now, we currently have 5 qualifiers out of 5 attempts so far. So
What?
5 for 5 have come through, and they've been able to finish in under 150 seconds. I got to meet Robert and Dan yesterday. They drove all the way down from Fayetteville. Robert finished his with about 90 seconds to spare. So he wolfed
Are you
his
kidding
down.
me?
Dude, he wolfed his down. He
How
was
big is
ready
this
to
man's
go.
mouth?
He was tall. He was a tall man. So I don't know what the esophagus can do when you're taller versus if you're shorter, but I think that had something to do with it. And then my man Dan, he got it in with the shot clock winding down. 30 seconds left. He had 1 bite, 1 pickle left, got it in, and was able to get it done. So it's I told them my only advice to you is chew and swallow.
You must have a really long neck. You got to make sure the things about yourself, you know what you can do professionally at least. I don't remember the name of the man, but I saw a video about a gentleman who's got the largest hands on earth, and you know what he's really good at? You know what he makes money doing? Arm wrestling. Yeah, nobody can even get their hand around this guy's hand. It's the same idea as, Michael Phelps, right? Wasn't his body built in a way where he was able to hold and expend more air than anybody else on earth potentially? Sounds like this gentleman knows exactly what he needs to do.
That's right. If you've been told out there that, look, you got a big mouth, you be talking a lot, maybe put that big mouth to work and see if you can shove this burger down it in less than 150 seconds. You might win a trip to Las Vegas on ESPN Arkansas's dime. So it's worth the investment. And while we're there every time, it's 2005 prices because we're rolling it back 20 years to celebrate the anniversary. So you get that monster burger for $3.50. Pretty good deal.
You know what? It helps. I think it helps if somebody feels that they're competing against somebody. I think they need you to try to down a burger right in front of them at the same time, go mano-y-mano.
If you want me to be a patsy every time, I can, because if you look at me and I turn sideways, you'll lose me. So I'm obviously not going to be much of a competition in an eating in an eating challenge. But if you need me to be there to, to be a fall guy to help you get going, I don't mind at all. I will be the crash test dummy, if you will, for that.
Well, slip into the cracks of the internet router and see if you can't fix this thing.
See what I can do. I'll get paperclip then real quick.
Just gave me the standard DJ answer. Anytime you hear somebody say, I'll see what I can do, the answer is no. Right now, we're into the second hour of halftime at 877-377-6963. That's our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Brett Dolan coming up about 20 minutes. He was at the All-Star game yesterday. What'd you think about the swing off? You think we're going to do that in a regular season major league game? God, no. Probably going to happen, though. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardee's for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Reward. The app for terms.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the north. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, a high low to mid-90s. Mainly clear to partly cloudy tonight, and overnight low in the low 70s. And we could see a few isolated showers and storms across the north again on Thursday. A high low 90s north, upper 90s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy. Expanding
KERX
horizons.
Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 45 days.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin didn't dominate, and we not doing it. We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them halftime.
What they were one race back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime, hour number 2, 12:01 in the afternoon. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, if it's working, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, Brett Dolan about 15 minutes from right now. Media days. Has anything out there interested anybody from what you have heard over the last few days? I listened on the drive in today, Matt, to Arch Manning for his media session. About 14, 15 minutes of straight up boredom, which is exactly what I think he wants to be.
Quarterbacks are the first artificial intelligence characters. If you know the AI that's just going in, if you look over the last 50 years, quarterbacks, for the most part, that's how they want you to be, artificial intelligence. And
I know there's 15, 11 quarterbacks that are there for this?
He speaks the same language. I mean, he's been, you look at he's royalty.
That's funny because when you're listening to and you hear it on our airwaves every once in a while, an artificial intelligence-ly voiced advertisement, you can tell. I think you can tell when you're hearing it. There's a couple of them. It's almost like when there's the little cues you're looking for when you wonder, is that really a photo, or is that some sort of AI depiction? Well, look, there's 6 fingers or 7 fingers, or his nose is crooked right there, and it's not a real thing. But when you're listening to a quarterback speak, right? That's what you're saying. You know exactly when you're hearing. You might not know who it is. You might not even know the setting, but when you hear a quarterback talking to a group of media members, for the most part, unless it's Joe Namath around a pool at the Super Bowl, you know what you're listening to.
Brett Favre, he might speak his mind. Aaron Rodgers a little bit, but Russell Wilson's one of the best at it. Kirk Cousins, one of the best at it. They just kind of, you don't want to give them any bulletin board material, and the focus is on your team, and then you don't talk about yourself. There's just a couple things you go about, and there's really it's standard to be a quarterback. You have to have that AI speak.
You know who's not good at that? Because you always know when you hear him, because he's always all over the place. Aaron Rodgers. He's not very good at that.
He's a little entitled, but he's a Hall of Famer. I guess when you know you're a Hall of Famer, and everybody, there's 53 alphas in the locker room, and everybody's an alpha. There's this and football players aren't the smartest of players, but it's it's a highly competitive. He's a top 1% at his job. He should kind of.
I saw this video of him. I don't know what golf course it was, but I think it was around Western Pennsylvania, and there's all these people there, maybe some kind of charity event, because I think it was Monday when charity events occur, and he's walking through the gallery, and he's kind of swinging his club a little bit, just like this, like you might swing a club, and he accidentally hits a kid with the club. And you can hear the kid say, "Aaron Rodgers, you hit me with the club." Or he almost hit me with the club. I think he almost hit him with the club. He says, "You almost hit me with the club." And you can hear Rodgers is walking away and says, "Almost don't count." That's memorable. Very memorable. Speaking of memorable, here's Charlie the Tuna. Things might work while you're on the phone here. Charlie, how are you doing today?
I mean, it's in and out, but it is what it is, Phil. How's it going? How's it going with you guys?
Very good. Thank you very much.
Can y'all hear me?
We're good. Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Did it cut out? Can y'all hear me?
See, he can't hear us. See how long this goes.
Hello.
See how long this goes. See how long Charlie stays on the phone before he decides to hang up.
Hello.
It'll come back.
This is somebody. Charlie does not hear us right now. This is somebody that will call in when we don't have a show. So I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure he doesn't hear us, but I hear him. He's trying to figure it out over there. Boy, I'm glad I came into the studio today, Matt. Fixed everything, didn't it?
Well, it's a little more enjoyable. That's for sure. But yeah, there's just whatever the homogenized. It's just what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? That's exactly right. What is it you're going to do? Here's one of my favorite equipment fails. I was working in Pioneer since I have no idea if any of our callers can get on right now, which also means I don't know if we can have Brett Dolan in the next segment. One of my favorite equipment fails happened in Butte, Montana. Phone lines didn't work. It had nothing to do with the equipment. Phone lines didn't work. I've been living the baseball life, Matt, since 1995. And you know how many games I've been in a dugout for? That one is the one. I got to be in the dugout for that game because the lines didn't work. That actually worked out better as far as I was concerned, because that's a tiny little dugout in a ballpark that wasn't a ballpark. It was a football stadium with a tiny little stand in the corner of an end zone. And you could barely fit inside the thing, but that gave me a nice little perspective of what it was like to be in the dugout of a professional ball game. Can't do that today, though, with the equipment not quite working. So I would usually give the phone number, but I don't know if I can at this moment, because if you try to make a phone call, which looks like Charlie's trying to do again, you ain't going to hear it. All right, so I didn't get much from listening to Arch Manning, except he sounds like a very nice kid who I think appreciates the lineage that he comes from, the league that he's playing in, and also knows that he just is going to get attention. And Matt, it isn't just because of his name. There's a skill that goes along with that name. I mean, that happened with Eli, and it worked out pretty well for him. It happened with Peyton, and it worked out really well for him. I mean, does it work out for Arch? I don't know, but everybody says he could be a next coming, and he seems to understand that, that goes along with just an amazing amount of attention.
Well, what was the old thing with Michael Jordan? He got cut from his high school team. It's like, yeah, he was a ninth grader, though. When you tell the whole story, he's got talent. He's the Texas quarterback. There's a little bit of, fortune, fame type thing that comes with being the quarterback at Texas. And he was a starting quarterback since the ninth grade year on his varsity team. So the dude's, I mean, he no question about it. He can play. Let's see what happens.
And he gets questions about Texas.
We just haven't seen him. We've only seen him play 2 games, and they were marginal opponent. Teams that didn't win any. It's like you look at when I talk about a couple of our early games where at every position you're going to have the bigger, better, stronger athlete. You didn't see much.
And he acknowledges the whole idea of, I played in 2 games, so let's prove it on the field. I think he wants to come across as just being about being a football player. He says he's not interested in the media. He understands it goes along with it. Just wants to play ball. But it's interesting because he's the Texas quarterback, right? So he gets all kinds of questions about his team, but he also gets questions about A&M, about the rivalry with the Aggies. He gets questions about the state of Louisiana, not about LSU, about the state of Louisiana, because of his father's legacy and the whole family legacy from New Orleans.
They had Eli Manning promoting a flag football thing, and he's getting questions about Arch. So it's I think he's the number one college sports player, football player, number one college athlete in this year's class.
But he also, it's because of the legacy. It's because of the 3 family members that played in this league, and I'm sure there are other kids that played in the SEC where they had 3 or maybe even 4 or more family members that played for an SEC football program, but not at that position and not with the pro success that came after playing at that position at these schools. So he's getting questions about Ole Miss. They don't play Ole Miss. He's getting questions about what it was like to be in Oxford as a kid and how he feels about Ole Miss now. He gets questions about Tennessee because of Peyton and about Texas too, but it's almost like he's a representative of Texas, but it's like he's a representative of the league, of the SEC overall, in a way that I've never felt a player be asked those kind of questions. It's different than just a Manning legacy, but it all happened in this league. It all happened in the SEC. He would not be a Texas Longhorn if they were still in the Big 12. There's no way. He wanted to play in this league, probably for that coach.
Well, you think he gets, so the last football player was Manziel, was on the cover of Time. I guess they don't even have Time magazine anymore, do they?
I think it's still out. Haven't seen it in a while.
Does he get a cover of Time Magazine. I think he comes back to the thing is whatever he does this year, I think he's going to be the quarterback at Texas next year too.
So he'll be back there again at media days.
There's no reason to go to the NFL when you're not ready, and how much easier college football is on your body, and having the best players around you. Why wouldn't he stay 3 years?
It's interesting you bring that up about the idea of coming back again. You see this situation with the Bengals and Shamar Stewart, defensive end from A&M. He's their first-round pick. They still haven't signed him to a contract. And I don't remember all the details about it, but there's a fight with Stewart and the Bengals about, I think, either an amount of guaranteed money or incentives. The Bengals are trying to insert language into their rookie contracts that no other team, I think, has tried to do. And so Stewart has not been at any organized team activities, hasn't been at minicamp. He's back at A&M. One of his teammates, former Aggie teammates, even tweeted or was quoted that he's working out with a team. And he was even talking about coming back and playing for A&M and then going back into the draft. Like, that's the kind of thing you've done in baseball before. I've never heard of this in football.
Yeah, basketball as well. I still think they should be able to draft your rights early. Like if they see you as a freshman, sophomore, junior, or whatever, and they want to draft you, absolutely.
When's the last time that an NFL team did not actually sign their first-round pick?
Give that man his money. That dude's good. I don't know whatever it's slotted in. That's the thing about rookie contracts. It's slotted in. First round, go ahead. They'll come to an agreement. You have to think.
I just want the idea of what if Shamar Stewart's lining up on the outside at Razorback Stadium this year? Yeah, well, this guy's a first-round pick. How do you know? Well, because the Bengals chose him in the first round. They do this in hockey. In hockey, teams draft your rights. You go play in college still. I don't know the whole system around it, but a lot of those guys that raise the championship cup, they know exactly where they're going to play in the pros.
Did Red Auerbach not draft Larry Bird a year before? Like he still played at Indiana State, but they had his. I thought so.
You can't do that anymore, And there used to be draft and follow with baseball, where you could follow a prospect for a year. You can't do that anymore.
SGA, Booker, some of these guys are getting $76 million a year. So
it's like $1 million a game.
That means by next year, by the next salary cap, next year or two, there's going to be guys making $82 million playing. What load management still? Do they have to give $1 million back if they sit out a game?
That's a good question. So we've been at that in the NFL for a while. I mean, you're just talking 17 games. When you get a playoff game check, Matt, does that game check equal to what the share would be for what your contract said for a regular season game?
I only ever played. Let's see, we played at Pittsburgh and at in Boston twice. There's a different the way everything's taxed and whatever. It's I don't think it's close to your game check, especially some of those guys. Now I was on minimum wage. I was rookie guy. Mine wasn't any different.
Yeah. Well, you want to try Charlie again? Charlie's back. Let's see if this works. Lewis Automotive Hotline. Charlie's with us. Maybe. Charlie, do you hear us?
I hear you guys. I love you guys. If I don't get anything out today, I love you guys. How about that?
We're trying our best. Charlie, we are literally trying as best as we can.
Oh, I know it's not just y'all. It's happening everywhere. I've been all over Twitter. This crap there's a lot of crap going on. What did you say yesterday? Mercury retrograde?
Yeah, we were told Mercury's in retrograde starting tomorrow, so hopefully it gets out of retrograde by, the weekend so we can all rest easy.
What was the other excuses people used to come up? The sun is hiding, or I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's like solar flares, lunar tides, I don't know, crossing the stream, something.
Nick Saban attacking us, you guys were talking about him yesterday.
Dogs and cats living together, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, you get on the Arch. I kind of feel sorry for the kid, but, I mean, he's going to get every question. I mean, it's tough, when you're in a situation like him. And I do appreciate him saying, look, dude, I ain't played yet. So let me go on the field. I mean, there was one game, I know y'all remember the Georgia game, which I don't understand how they didn't see this. They put Ewers on the bench, actually thinking throwing Arts out there that would help them. No, they looked just as bad because Georgia just kicked their ass and was kicking their the whole game, and it wasn't nothing any quarterback could have done. But anyway, I am excited to see him play now. I hate Kansas, but anyway, I am excited to see what he does. I hope he has a great year, just not against us. Just keep your worst, just play your worst against Arkansas. That's the way I look at it. And I was going to ask you guys too, Matt, you were talking about interviews and stuff. They were real back in the day, and they still do it now. They were real, like, they would tell you kind of how to answer questions going in, right, Matt? I mean, kind of cool, you guys, on that before y'all went to these interviews?
Every single team that you've been on, that they have a publicist. There's somebody out there that's kind of, I don't know if they're mediating or moderating, but there's somebody there with you listening to what you say. Now, some players are different. Sometimes they might not say a single word to some players, but then sometimes you got to talk a little bit more to certain guys.
Charlie, thanks for persevering and sticking with us as long as you possibly can. Try again tomorrow. Although tomorrow, as long as the lunar tides and the solar flares and the Mercury retrograde disappear, everything should work okay, and we should get a chance to converse with Taylor Green and/or Cam Ball and/or Xavier Sori and maybe even Sam Pittman, because tomorrow is the day that the Hogs go to SEC Media Days. Hey, my brand new Roback shirt came in last night. This one's awesome. It's great for baseball season because it's a Roback shirt that's licensed by the University of Arkansas, and the design is little tiny Baum Walker stadiums all over it. It's made of great premium fabric. It feels incredibly soft. I can't wait to show it off during baseball season next year. Hopefully it still fits me, because it fits me perfectly. For golfers, check out Roback's Delta pants and shorts. They're also a clean fit, comfortable premium fabric, going to look great on or off the golf course. Roback.com is where you order. If you use the code RUSH25 at checkout, you get 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort. All right, we're going to test that Lewis Automotive Hotline one more time with Brett Dolan. I think he was in Atlanta last night for the All-Star game. Halftime returns after this.
Being a part of the Southeastern Conference, it means more than you might think.
SEC Media Days on ESPN Arkansas is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. And by Lindbergh Real Estate Group, your #1 real estate team in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Arkansas, I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, to 40, to 30, college at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot, you know.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Sharp Equipment is your one-stop shop for heavy equipment. Now with their new location in Van Buren on 3918 Pointer Trail East. Whether your machine's rattling, sputtering, or refusing to start, Sharp's got the parts and expertise to get you moving again. Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Look to Sharp Equipment, an authorized Wacker Newson dealer. Sharp Equipment has what you need. Come see Sharp at their new location in Van Buren across from Mid-South Steam Boiler, or call 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment will help you move more than just the world, but will help you move forward.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the best part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Keep you in the dark and so it all again. Standing your skeletons, singing cell phones come marching in again. Beneath you buried deep, the secret songs you keep on. Are you sense? Bleeding yet no friends that to dance. Spinning and cheaper, the wheel is spinning as meanness. Never ending, never ending.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Going to test out the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Brett Dolan is with us, I think. I know, Brett, you were in Atlanta for the All-Star game yesterday. Are you still there?
I am not. I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow for Braves and Yankees on Friday night. So I'll get there, just not for the All-Star game. Right. I wish that would have been some type of show.
Well, what was your favorite part of it yesterday? Because I was going to ask, what was it like to see the Hank Aaron tribute live in person? But it was awesome on television. You know, it was that, and I didn't even know you were going to do a swing off. So until the swing off, well, the tribute to Hank was my favorite part.
I would agree. You know, I spent 7 years working with a guy who called that home run at 7:15, and he would have lost his mind were he still with us, just enjoying the spectacle, which I thought was incredibly well done. And I didn't know that was coming for whatever reason. So I enjoyed that. And then the swing off was fun. And Phil, I was trying to watch the game. I was about a half an hour behind real time. I was watching it on my DVR and fast forwarding through the commercials. And I started to get some notifications on my phone, and I was trying not to read them. And thank goodness I didn't, because I wouldn't have believed my phone. Like, a swing off, a what? But yeah, it was interesting. There didn't look like there were many people left in the stands when this took place, which was unfortunate, but it was unusual to say the least.
Well, go ahead and start a baseball game at 8:00 and expect people to be there at the very end of it, whether it's an all-star game or whatever. I mean, it's like, that's just evidence how this is
like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. It started at 7 o'clock at the very least. I mean, it's all. It's TV. Just TV ends up ruining the live experience sometimes.
Being played outside.
But again, you would think, I mean, people aren't going to school. They're paying $1 zillion for these trips that maybe they would stay for at least, I don't know, 8 or 9 innings instead of whatever it was, 6 or 7. But Schwarber was being interviewed. And by the way, someday we'll look up the box score and we'll see he was 0 for 2 in the MVP, and we'll be really confused. He was being interviewed, and there's nobody reacting. There's nobody left in the stands.
I know. It's hilarious. And it hit me that they were going to do it before they even announced it, because I was like, they're not going to do the tie game anymore, because you know what happened the last time they had a tie game. You're going to figure out a way to win, to choose a winner, and the only way you can do that, unless you're going to, I don't know, like
couldn't continue on anymore because of not having pitchers. But you know, you look at the box score. Look at the box score, and there's 13 pitchers I think that threw for the National League, maybe 12 for the American League. There's something called pitcher one in each box score, because you have to account for the run that made it 7-6. An unnamed pitcher, I guess, threw for both teams.
I just hope we don't do this in any other game that's not the All-Star game. Don't do this in spring training. Don't do this in the fall league. Don't do this in April. Don't do this in October. Just do this at the All-Star game and no other place.
All right, so I was at the Yappy League All-Star Game 2 years ago, and we spent a bulk of the time talking about their unique, innovative way for extra innings, because you don't want extra innings in a summer league. But you would play a half inning, and the visiting team would pick offense or defense. So if they pick offense and score, they win. If they pick defense and you don't score, they win. And then we got to extra innings, and we didn't do it.
I like your idea. That's sudden death baseball.
Right. I mean, I guess for a summer league or even an all-star game, it's a little more immediate. It doesn't take as long. Only one team has to throw a pitcher. If he gives up a home run, it's only one batter. So at least it's something somewhat gimmicky or comical. But you do get a winner, because you have to have a winner if you invest all your time in this.
You think when watching and listening, one of my other favorite parts of the All-Star game was Kershaw being mic'd up, and he just looked like he was having so much fun. I just love him saying, "Hold on a minute, guys, I'm going to throw some cheese here." And he's telling you what he's going to throw, and then he spikes a curveball. He's like, "Oh, that's short." Just sounded like he was having fun. Do you think this is it for him? Because it just came across.
It was different. It was fun. I mean, I was a little bit nervous with Tarek Skubal, because he would given up a couple of hits and trying to get outs, and he never gives up runs, and he's having a conversation with the broadcasters. But it all.
Matt, I thought we might make it through a segment without the phone breaking out on us, but you know, things tend to happen sometimes when flies are in the ointment and gremlins are chewing through the wires.
And they got sharp teeth, don't they?
Man, and they're hungry. They're hungry.
Yeah, I mean, what have you ever heard of a diet?
A gremlin that goes on a diet is a dead gremlin. Unfortunately, that's what it comes down to.
Midnight.
Well, that's too bad, because I had a good little conversation going there with Brett.
Get some SEC Media Day stuff, and kind of get some of his thoughts. I guess we got one more day left of SEC Media Day.
One more day. It would be tomorrow, and of course we still have. Let's see. You've already heard. Well, you've heard from. How much of it are you going to listen to? That's the thing. So how many of our listeners are listening to all of the press conferences, or even the pieces of the press conferences? You're looking at Kalen DeBoer, Jeff Levy, Billy Napier, Brent Venables. Arkansas plays one of those teams, and it's as must-win as it gets, because it's Mississippi State. Remember ChatGPT when I asked Chat, what's Arkansas going to do this year? Damn thing picked them to lose at home to Mississippi State, but still, beat Tennessee on the road.
Must be a gremlin, ChatGPT.
That's exactly what it was. Tomorrow, Eli Drinkwitz starts it off at 9:00. Well, this is Eastern time, so it's 8:05 our time. Mark Stoops just short of 11. Coach Pittman at 12 noon, and then Mike Elko just before 2 o'clock. So
we'll play some sound on Friday, more or less, is what you're saying. Yeah.
As long as the sound works, it's got to work first. But I would assume too, because if Coach Pittman's speaking at noon, well, that means they arrive at about 11, which is when halftime starts. So we should be able to get some conversations with Cam Ball, Taylon Green, and with Xavier Sori. It's just, I think tomorrow it's probably best if we have those recorded.
We got people on site, though, so that's good. Yeah,
I love having people on site. So that means they can throw.
Oh, we got people.
We got people. Yeah. That's what I mean. We got people there on site, so they can do the interviews, and we can just sort of sit back and hit play. That's fun to do, isn't it, Christian? That's a good job to have. Make sure you push the right button at the right time. Stay out of the right person's way.
Maybe I won't screw that up.
Make sure you don't feed your mogwai after midnight.
So Tommy Kraft was at the All-Star game as well?
He was at the All-Star game, but he and Tom Murphy went together. I think they left before the end of the 6th inning. I heard him say that he missed the Hank Aaron tribute, which I would imagine you got to stick around for that. But I also know, went with Tom, and he's still in recovery mode, and they got work to do today.
Got work to do. That's right.
But that's the same thing as, remember I told you about the last All-Star game I went to, which maybe is the best baseball game I've ever been to, the 94 All-Star game.
Pops was ready to go.
Dad's ready to go because we're going to a 10th inning. Think about this. That game went to a 10th inning. You miss out on great moments potentially if you don't at least play a 10th inning. I did think the home run swing off was really cool. It would not have been cool had Schwarber not had that moment, not had the 3 home runs in 3 swings, because that's the thing that you stand apart from and say, well, that's the thing I remember now. And then he's right. I didn't even look at the box scores. Why is he the MVP? He went 0 for 2. No, he went 3 for 3 when it mattered most, hitting against a guy that literally his job is to put the pitch in the perfect spot so he can hit a home run. Good teamwork for you. I would give the phone number, but it ain't going to work. Want to remind you, though, about Crabtree RV Center in Alma, serving the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for 75 years and counting. Every buyer and their family have got the best RV purchasing experience. They will help you choose the right RV. On-site, personalized financing, and the top-of-the-line parts and service department. That's at Crabtree RV, where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma, and online at crabtreerv.com. We're back. Halftime returns after this.
This is Halftime.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Mungo like candy.
This is Halftime.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn Lumber.com. Lavorne Lumber. Paying the bills, we'll take care of you.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Make hay while the sun shines with Kubota hay equipment from Gray Brothers. Like quality-built Kubota disc hay mowers, known for their durability and beautiful cut. Kubota hay rakes and, of course, the BB Series Kubota round baler. Couple it with Kubota's M-Series cab tractor with 75 to 168 horsepower, and you'll have the prettiest hay on the market. With savings from Gray Brothers and special financing from Kubota, today is your day for a new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment at Fort Smith and Photo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Till the angels sing, carry on the luggage is all you bring. Who shall not lie? Till the angels sing, carry on the luggage is all you bring. Buddy Holly's waiting with a high ball and a grin to show you which room of the motel you're in. Just find all the records on every shelf and the guitar strings all change themselves. There's a place in the sky where the beer stays cold. The marks are new and the guitars are old. The amps go up to 11.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Alabama brought today the offensive lineman that transferred to Iowa for a month and then went back to Alabama, Caden Proctor, Iowa native. He was one of the first, I think, to transfer out after Saban left. But it said that the Iowa coaches have been in contact with him all throughout that season, and then was with him for, I think it was a month. Utilized that spring portal. I don't know if he was actually part of spring ball with Iowa. And I remember him talking about, I think he was being interviewed by Iowa people, just talking about leaving Alabama. And you could tell he was not too pleased that he didn't do it. And he's going to media days too. There it is. It's not a matter, how Coach Pittman gets asked, what about a guy goes into the portal? Will you welcome him back? And they did with Braylon Russell. Russell didn't commit anywhere else. Proctor actually went to school somewhere else and then came back.
Way too early predictions, I know, but do you have Alabama year 2 under DeBoer making the Final Four as far as being a playoff team, being in the 4 guys that get to go represent the SEC?
The second year under DeBoer, I don't know what to think about Ty Simpson, the new quarterback who's taking over with Milroe now in the NFL. But just for the second year there, I would expect, I don't know if I'd national championship contention, but also the teams that they lost to last year, they get in Tuscaloosa. It's going to be, so I would expect it's going to be a better year for Alabama, but one fewer loss than they had last year, and they're in the playoff. A 2-loss Alabama is going to get in easily.
10 wins.
That's right. Yeah, that's what you said. 10 wins in the SEC.
They play Wisconsin and Florida State, so those are pretty good. Not out of conference opponents, and then you got to go through the SEC grind. But they get Vandy, Missouri. Yeah, I guess South Carolina's supposed to be a little better. Oklahoma got a vote for to win the SEC. What about Auburn? You got to think Auburn's got, is their coach the hottest seat right now?
In his third year too. But yes, I would say he's got a very, very hot seat, Auburn. And just I don't know, I still view Auburn as a place that should be able to recruit, but Harsin didn't recruit well there. Freeze has his issues there in terms of recruiting, so I would think they need to show a step forward right now, like this year. So I don't know, hot seat, if that's one thing, but they've also shown, I mean, that's a school that will, when the boosters get involved, they can move pretty quickly. I just wonder about the direction that college sports is in, if they might necessarily have the money to pay whatever buyout he's got. And I'm sure it's a pretty hefty buyout.
Bama gets their bye before Georgia and before LSU. How good a scheduling is that, huh?
Oh, you guys already printed out the schedule grid. Look at that. That's one of the most useful pieces of paper for the next 7 months, isn't it? So knowing where everybody is every weekend, where the game takes place, and who's off for the entire SEC. I got to get that thing printed out.
Thanks. That's a big shout out to Ty Richardson right there.
Nice job.
Did 45 do that, or did Ty 45? Okay.
45 will do a few good things. Like, you try to look at the Big Ten schedule grid, and I think they showed you what the 3-year schedule grid looked like. It's like, wow, we're going to figure that out. I imagine by the time that we know what next year's schedule looks like, it's going to be a 2-year schedule of 8 games, and you'll be playing the teams you didn't play outside of Missouri. So what does that mean Arkansas would get over the next couple of years? Because that means, well, you're going to have a tough schedule. You'll get Georgia, you get South Carolina,
Bama,
Florida, Alabama, Kentucky,
Oklahoma,
Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and Missouri. Did I miss on anybody?
South Carolina. I mean, that seems to always be a battle for the Hogs. And
Just think of the schools
Ole Miss. So Arkansas wouldn't play Ole Miss, LSU.
Neither of the Mississippi schools? No LSU? Are we in the SEC still? Well, that's the proof. We already know there's no divisions, but now your SEC West teams that you always played are gone. But you would get Alabama back. No Auburn. That would be a better schedule, though, if you think about it. I don't know where the games would take place.
That's who you miss.
You're trading Oklahoma for Texas. I would rather play OU, right?
You would think so.
Alabama. Yeah. You get Alabama. Now you'd rather play them last year and maybe
Auburn,
this year.
So you're trading the Alabama-Auburn thing.
That's right. You get Georgia. You get Florida. Florida may be, who knows? I don't know if Lagway will be there again and whoever they've got on the pipeline. But you get Georgia. You get Vandy. You get Kentucky. And you would get South Carolina. So that's a lot. I mean, who knows what they look like next year? But just on brand name alone, having Alabama and Georgia and Oklahoma, I mean, just in terms of history and national champions and all of that stuff, it wouldn't be as tough of a schedule as you're facing this year. But then again, you wouldn't have Notre Dame on next year's schedule either.
We go back to Oklahoma State. Do we redo that one? I think, or they come here, I guess, because I thought it was like an every other year thing.
Yeah, those don't always end up year by year. Let's see here. Next year, you're at Utah. Memphis comes to Fayetteville. Tulsa comes to Fayetteville.
And then there'll be one more. We don't have it yet. Okay. Yeah.
At Utah would be pretty interesting, though, out in Salt Lake City.
Went to BYU a handful of years ago. Went up there and whooped them, and then they came back here and whooped us the next year.
They were still an independent team then, though. And
I just remember them being physical, and they were more physical. That's the year we couldn't run the ball, though, right? Like we were just not physical at all.
And I'm just thinking about Alabama, Georgia, and Oklahoma potentially being on your schedule with Missouri, because you get Missouri every year. You know that. But that could still not be as tough of a schedule as you're facing this year. And I don't want to ever be accused of saying the schedule is an excuse for what would be a bad year. It's not an excuse. It is who you're playing. There's going to be reasons why Arkansas struggles if this year's schedule is a reason why you don't have a step forward or you kind of stuck where you are. Honestly, just based on, I guess, my understanding of Arkansas this year and who they may be playing, 6 to 7 wins is going to be tough. But there will be reasons why you don't get to that, or you don't get to 8 or 9 wins. And turnovers on both sides, creating more turnovers defensively, holding on to the ball offensively. It's got to be pretty. How early do you want to see that Taylon Green is going to spread it out and that there might be a receiver or two that stand out? Because what are we going to believe over the first 2-3 weeks? You got to see some kind of connection there, and that it's not just with one player. Using more of the middle of the field in the first 2-3 weeks. You'd like to see that too, wouldn't you? That's going to be an aspect of hopefully finishing drives, being better in the red zone, better on third down. Defensive backs not letting guys get behind you, blowing assignments. I think more than anything, it was missed assignments and speed in some cases. These are reasons, Matt, where I think the season could go either way. If it's a defense that can create more turnover opportunities, and an offense that even has a modicum of improvement in terms of holding on to the ball, just the possession alone and where those turnovers occur. A turnover at your 20-yard line, that's a lot different than a turnover on the opponent's 20-yard line, although it's a missed opportunity in your case as well to score. Some of these things are going to be the reasons that Arkansas either improves upon last year or is stuck where they've been for the last 2-3 seasons.
Where's the tight end? Where's the tight end gone? You know, who tight end's got to step up. Yeah, his footwork, his decision making. When you're talking about Taylor Green, I think you're going to see that being improved, and so then you should be able to, you know, go read 1, 2, 3, you know, whatever your read is. So that's what you want to see early on, and I think you will. I think he's poised. He's what's not to like about the kid? You know, I think he can be a top 4 quarterback in the SEC if he just continues on his progression that he should. I think he'll do. I think he's going to do extremely well this year.
He's going to do well tomorrow at being boring, at saying things that aren't worth remembering.
He's actually got a little personality. If you remember, we had him on the show last year. He's actually okay. You know, like he's and you got to think he's going to be more. Think about Aloy, our shortstop at Arkansas. You saw him year 1. You saw the talent was there. You saw how amazing he. Year 2, he gets comfortable, makes a jump. That's what I think you're going to see because Talon is a big, strong kid, and he's what's he had another year, another 8 months so far of working with Bobby Petrino, studying film, getting going to and just being more comfortable. I think he's going to play well.
I hadn't thought of it in those terms. I do like that comp with between Viva Aloy and Talon Green.
Crazy athletes.
Yeah, that's right, and you can see that. You can see the potential, dripping there. The thing is with Green, and it's just because the sport he plays in that position, his improvement also will depend upon the rest of his unit improving along with him, just based on the new group of guys that you got. Is it a deeper group of receivers? And 2 of your guys are in the NFL, for crying out loud. Is it a better offensive line that meshes a little bit better, guys at the position that maybe fits them a little bit more, maybe Harris on the inside, of course, and then Carmona on the inside as well. It's some of those issues that we're looking at. All right, back to wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime right after this break.
Them and baseball players have the prettiest girlfriends. Baseball and golfers, they know how to get it done.
This is Halftime.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
He's a dentist. Don't get too excited.
I'm Dr. Bill Ligon, and I believe that premium dental care should be attainable for every hog fan. At Dallas Street Dental, we're offering half-off professional whitening in June and July. Take advantage of this incredible deal by visiting dsd.live. Ask about implants, ortho, and more. We also have financing options available. Call 479-452-6600. That's 452-6600. Come see us at Dallas Street Dental, 8020 Dallas Street, Fort Smith. Don't let a hog's win be the only reason you're smiling.
Hi, this is Pruitt Tollett with WT Equipment. When it's hay season, you need equipment that works as hard as you do. Premier Forage tools, from mowers to balers, are built tough to perform in the field and backed by support you can count on. At WT Equipment, we help you get the right Premier tools to keep them strong. Come by and see us at our 8 locations or visit us online, WTEquip.com. Premier, because your hay doesn't wait.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. Talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours. Or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
How much fun do you think players and managers and coaches have when they're asked to do in-game interviews? I've never even thought anybody ever wanted to do it before.
Some people have, like, I wouldn't want to do it at all, but some people kind of like that stuff, you know?
You see, there are guys
all
that
about
were,
their brand.
There are guys that are mic'd up on the field during the All-Star game yesterday. You see this in some other. It's never the local broadcast. It's always the national broadcast. Well, why? And when they're done, they always thank the guys in the booth. It was kind of, you're listening yesterday, and I thought it was kind of cool. They had Aaron Boone and Dave Roberts, both kind of talking to each other through the broadcast team, which I thought was kind of neat. I love the Clayton Kershaw moments where he's out there on the mound and he's pitching, but there's all these other guys that are up there too, and you wonder. You got to sweeten the pot a little bit if they're going to be asked to speak while they're playing a game and being focused on for national television. Every time, and I saw this, it's in the player development, the player bargaining agreement, professional baseball agreement, I think is what it's really called. Each player who wears a two-way microphone on the All-Star game shall receive a stipend from joint funds, a stipend that is worth $15,000. Just for yesterday. So Kershaw, who might make $15,000 per pitch, got $15,000 for speaking while he was out there pitching. No wonder it sounded like he was having a good time. He got $15,000 for about 5 minutes worth. I don't know if that's the same thing for the managers because this is for a player contract. But Matt, for $15,000, I'll get mic'd up for 3 minutes and maybe even not be able to focus on what it is I'm trying to focus on.
Yeah, well, Atlanta income tax, so it's more about 7 is what he's getting. But yeah, that's still amazing.
See movie. Big last weekend. There was a run on body swap movies in the 1980s. Vice Versa with Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage. Like Father, Like Son, Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron. 18 again, George Burns and Charlie Schlatter. Dream a Little Dream, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. All of Me, Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin. Most of these are, like a father, a son, or an old man and a younger man. All of Me with Martin and Tomlin was that a man and a woman trade bodies. I don't know if we do too much of this now, but it was pretty popular in the 80s. And Big was one of them.
Man, I'll tell you, I was like thinking, I don't remember a movie that's quite like this one because of the element of like being a kid, going into an older person's body and then going back. And then, but the sentimental, feeling, I didn't really expect, I guess. It makes sense. It makes the movie better for him to kind of get feelings for her. It kind of made it more, I don't know, sentimental, but I do like the body swap movies. It's pretty.
Whose wife was a writer for that movie, right?
Wife.
Steven Spielberg's wife.
Wow.
Right, and
the Kate Capshaw.
He does the heartstrings. Spielberg. That's kind of his. Back, you think in the 80s, he was one of the best at doing that.
I think Kate Capshaw. They may still be married, for all I know. You ever see the movie Space Camp? I don't remember if Spielberg was the director in that, but Kate Capshaw was the star. That may have been where they met. Space Camp made me want to go up in space. It was Huntsville, Alabama. I think Lee Thompson was in that movie too, and it was after she had already starred in Back to the Future.
Not Howard the Duck.
Not Howard the Duck. No, too bad. Howard the Duck needs to be completely redone.
They're going to have to do another one of those.
Well, we need to do another hour of halftime. We have no guests. I'll give you the phone line, the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Try it. Texts work. 877-377-6963. Back right after this.
Bow hunters, it's time to get ready for bow season, and Jelco Outdoors has the best selection of Matthews, Elite, Hoyt, and Bowtech compound bows for you. Huge selection of arrows, back targets, sights, and releases to help you get dialed in. Need to replace strings and cables? We are ready with gas bowstrings in stock with quick turnaround to get you ready. Jelco Outdoors, your premier archery shop in the River Valley, your store for work and the great outdoors. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson from the Morning Rush, and I want to tell you what Linda, Joe, and their team are doing at Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Daily lunch specials come with a side and a roll, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3, just $9.99 each. Mondays is Mimi's Meatloaf. Tuesday is 3 chicken dinners. Wednesday is chicken fried steak. Thursday, Garrison Swiss chicken. And Friday, a Whippoorwill burger. 509 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Timeless Southern home cooking.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the north. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, a high low to mid-90s. Mainly clear to partly cloudy tonight, and overnight low in the low 70s. And we could see a few isolated showers and storms across the north again on Thursday. A high, low 90s north, upper 90s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 45 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one race back?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963.
Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
1:01 in the afternoon. It means we've done a couple of hours here on halftime with the gremlins gnawing through the wires and the flies all in the ointment. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, and Matt, we've made it through 2 hours. I feel like manager in Bull Durham. How'd we ever win 8? How'd we ever make it through 2?
No, man, it's kind of zipped along. We had a little. Grant Hall kind of went off pretty good, and then we had Brett for a little bit. So yeah, man, it's. Even the tuna called back.
We had half a Brett Dolan interview. We had a third of a tuna phone call and then a regular phone call that came in. The Lewis Automotive text line works. The phone's not so much. 877-377-6963. Pinto must have done a little math during the break. Thinks $15,000 is less than Clayton Kershaw makes for 5 minutes in the regular season. I don't remember what Kershaw's contract is. But I think to myself about $15,000 to me just sounds like a lot of money. Maybe it sounds like a lot of money to everybody.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean it is, especially if it's just about wearing a microphone for half an inning. Kershaw will make he's down to $7.5 million right now, but at his apex he made $35 million. Is $15,000 still a lot to someone that made over $300 million in his career?
And so he was getting about $1 million to start. What was his? We were just talking about NBA players getting $1 million a game. So what is a 40 starts? Is that kind of what a big leaguer tries to get?
Nah, it's about 30. About 30.
So he was
35.
getting $1 million to start at his peak.
Yep, that's what he was getting. And Scherzer gets that. Verlander gets that. I was going to say Ohtani, but everything's deferred, and he doesn't really pitch very much right now. But yeah, baseball's had pitchers be at a million per game for quite a while now. Not relievers necessarily, but it's more starters. There will never be a position player that gets $100 million per game.
Ohtani's just a DH now, pretty much.
It's like a one-inning starter for the time being as they work him back.
Yeah,
or not even a starter. I think he's just been kind of just nudged back inch by inch. All they're really trying to do is make playoffs and then allow him to fire 100 miles an hour in the ninth inning and close the game down.
Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't start him, but you have him. You're able to come bring him on to pitch an inning here and there.
And we're told by Scott the Tortilla Guy out of 2 hours, been on the air 2/3 of the time. You're going to make us do math here. It's like Bubba knows this kind of stuff with me. He knows this kind of stuff that if I see numbers that I can average out, I want to do the average out to it. So if we've been on for
90 minutes.
Is that about it?
120,
I don't want to do
about
the math.
90.
That's exactly what we've done. Yeah. All I know from now is that a week from right now, I will be off the grid. I haven't been off the grid I can't even tell you when. When I got a cell phone, and I guess you say that's getting off the grid is getting on the grid is getting a cell phone, right? Paying your bills, being connected to the internet, all that stuff. People know where you live. Heading into the Grand Canyon a week from today, down into the Colorado River with my son and my father and other people who know what they're doing there to tell us what to do and what not to do so that you don't win the contest. And I will have absolutely no technology whatsoever. There will be no cell phones. There will be no cell service. There will be no Wi-Fi. There will be no tomato cans and string, no rotary phone. Can't send a letter, an email, a text. You can't even scream to anybody that you want to. The other thing we can't do for a week? Shower. We can't shower for a week.
Jump into the creek.
We're going to get into the river.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be clean enough to at least, I don't know, have some effect.
Take some soap. Is that against the rules?
I don't know. They told us to bring wipes.
No,
it was like the dude wipes, right? So make sure you get the 4 major areas. Armpits, your behind, the other side of your behind, and your teeth. That's right. And I guess we'll be able to do that. I'll bring a toothbrush, I'll bring the dude wipes, and I'll probably, wipe the spots between my toes because that'll just get shiny and everything. My son, on the other hand, the kid who's got to be convinced on a daily basis to shower, he's going to think he's hit the gold mine for crying out loud.
He'd be moving, looking for land.
He's going to be, hey, Dad, look, I'm shiny today. You're not supposed to be shiny there. Are we going to try a phone call?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Jim in Springdale.
Jim in Springdale is a brave caller on the Lewis Automotive Hotline because we might hear 2 out of every 3 words. Jim, how are you?
That's okay. If you need to hang up on me, go for it. But speaking of Dude Wipes, did you guys see that the guy who heads up Dude Wipes went over to the UK and made a deal to bring Dude Wipes into Tesco, which is kind of the #1 supermarket in the UK.
But is the name Dude, is it popular in Britain?
That's what I was going to put out to you guys. Like, what will Englishers think of Dude? And they wouldn't rename it, but don't you think that's fascinating?
Call it Lazy Lads.
Call it Night Wipes.
I mean, you could come up with some fun names.
Beetle
the
Wipes.
English are great for their dry humor. Beetle Wipes. The main question I was calling was really for Matt. You guys were talking about Arch Manning and how he has to be vanilla, and quarterbacks have to be vanilla pretty much in their interviews with the media. And I was wondering, similar to how Kevin Costner, coached up Timothy Hutton in The Natural, did Matt have someone to coach him up on this? How to talk to the media, how to act as a quarterback in front of various groups. Did you have that, Matt, or did it come naturally, or what happened?
Well, I would say my parents, my pops played college football and was a coach, and so you kind of learn that way. Both my parents were teachers. I would have to say, there's somebody, like when Charlie was asking, there's always somebody there around an interview and to give you little pointers or give you tips or whatever. But some players they don't talk to because they know how to handle. You don't really have to worry about. And then some people, you kind of got to worry about them a little bit.
Did you have teammates that you knew were going to be a problem when they were about to hit the microphone?
I thought
or was
Blake
everybody
Evans was
pretty
a
much
great
coached?
quote. Tony Bua was funny. There, some of these guys would show some personality and stuff, and you kind of, you're Gronk, you're tied in, just depending on what. But the quarterback coach was, hey, we're not going to have any quarterbacks that look like Abe Lincoln. He's very old school. You're going to talk about your teammates. You're going to talk about your opponents. You're never really going to talk about yourself.
That's right. Well, that's interesting. Well, thanks for sharing.
I was listening to a story that A.J. McCarron was telling on some podcast about when he went to media days. His roommate at the Manning Passing Academy that year was Manziel. Manziel got kicked out of the passing academy because he showed up late by a couple hours to where he's supposed to be a counselor. And And it's great to hear A.J. McCarron calling Archie Manning Mr. Archie. And then Archie told, well, you know what? We don't mean to do this to you, but we got to send Johnny home. You're going to be this now. And then he didn't see Manziel again, but that Alabama went the day before, or I'm sorry, A&M went the day before Alabama did in Hoover that year. And Manziel was asked about being kicked out of the Manning Passing Academy. He blamed it on McCarron, not waking him up. And it had nothing to do with that whatsoever. It was just, he was just being Johnny Manziel. And that's all McCarron answered all day long at that media days. Like, you, not even one of your teammates, and you had to worry about what he said.
Well, that's another thing they teach you is to not shift blame and be accountable. So maybe you got to be accountable for your actions.
Hey, Jim. And Jim actually knows his marketing stuff. I know he's not there now, but remember he called in with the whole Taco Bell marketing thing from the 80s? Bloke wipes. They're not dude wipes, bloke wipes.
Bloke's more Australian, but yeah, I think they're lads over there.
Lad wipes. That sounds that's too young. I don't know.
Lads, lassie, yeah.
Lassie wipes. It's in your local Hollywood feed. Mate wipes for Australian. Yeah, that's about right. Because dude wipes here might be mate wipes there. Either way,
down under wipes
leaves you fresh, clean, or something like that. I think that's a high point to go out on, right? Yeah. We're going to try to get in with Ty Richardson on Radio Row as long as the Gremlins let us. This is halftime, and we're back in a moment.
Being a part of the Southeastern Conference, it means more than you might think.
SEC Media Days on ESPN Arkansas is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. And by Lindbergh Real Estate Group, your #1 real estate team in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Summer is here, and Jelco Outdoors has the outdoor gear for you. Hiking boots by Salomon, running shoes by Under Armour, fishing shoes by Extra Tough and Under Armour, dry fit fishing and outdoor clothing by AFCO, Ariat, Drake, Hook, and Under Armour. Take advantage of the hot summer deals on summer clothing with buy one, get the second at 50% off. See store for details. For all of your summer fishing, Jelco has the gear. Hunters, get ready for bow season. Jelco Outdoors, your one-stop summer store. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Big changes are coming. In order to serve you better, Metters Lumber is joining Ace Hardware. We will remain locally owned and operated so you can expect the same great service, but with lower pricing and better selection. We'll have exciting new brands to serve more of your needs. Come by and check out our deeply discounted merchandise as we make room for new products at Metters Lumber Company in Alma, Ozark in Clarksville.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Once upon a time, you called me the bleeder. Swimming up this river with sentimental fever. But this ain't my first ride, it ain't my last try. Just got to keep moving on. If they catch me ever, they'll throw me back forever.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, we'll check in on Radio Row at SEC Media Days. Ty Richardson joining us on halftime as long as the sun stays up, and I think it's up for the moment. Ty, how are you?
Phil, what's up, buddy? Good to always hear from you.
It's been an adventure today, but I went in studio. I came in studio. I'm standing right next to Matt, looking right at CJ, and everything's been all right here. How's it been there? What are you up to?
Man, it's been good. I heard you guys talking about being a good teammate. Matt always talks about being a good teammate. Phil Elson was a good teammate today. Coming through for Big C and Matt today.
I'm trying to be, just because it was super frustrating yesterday, and I didn't want to make those faces anymore. So it's just a little easier to come in. Have you listened to anybody that's spoken today? Anything stand out? There's only one team that's up there speaking that the Razorbacks play, and it's Mississippi State.
Yeah, Levy was kind of boring, and they called Kalen DeBoer boring. I did think it was interesting. Connor asked him the question about like the Alabama standard, and I mean he knows he didn't meet it, and curious to see if they can bounce back the pressure that's on him. Napier, Arkansas didn't play Florida. I know there's a lot of hype around DJ Lagway, and they have Arkansas' schedule's tough, but they have the toughest schedule in college football. And then Oklahoma, who Razorbacks don't play, but I mean the campus I think it's 3 hours and 40 minutes, Donald W. to Gaylord Memorial. So I still wonder about what Brent Venables is going to say here coming up in about an hour or so.
Yeah, what do you think of that kid? They got the transfer from Washington State. You're trying to do a little comparison or trying to see where these quarterbacks line up. You think Oklahoma kind of gets over the hump this year?
Mateer's an interesting guy considering like Jackson Arnold. They elect to kind of move on with him rather than stay with Dylan Gabriel. Gabriel has a really good outing for the Oregon Ducks last year. So, like transfer portal quarterbacks are so hit and miss, man. I mean, you know the position. Guys coming in, new system. There's a lot you have to learn in the offseason. And, I mean, if you miss on a guy, i.e. Peyton Thorne in Auburn, it is rough. And that was 2 years for the Tigers. So Venables is hoping he's got his guy. And if he does, I mean, that's a team that they had just an awful schedule rollout in 2024, welcoming to the SEC. It's a little better this year, but I mean, you still got to play like Michigan week 2. You're going to Philadelphia to play Temple. So it's a tough schedule, and they'll be better than last year, but are they a college football playoff team? I wouldn't bet on it.
Like I know Peyton Thorne, wasn't very good. Is Jackson Arnold that much of an upgrade going to Auburn?
Man, that's a good question, Phil. So he's turnover prone like Thorne and Brown were. We saw that last year in Norman. But the deal with him is, like, he didn't have any wide receivers. Auburn is stacked with young players that got a year under their belt or transfer portal guys. I mean, Freese brought in a great crop of wide receivers, which always helps the stats. Matt, you always talk about, man, it really helped that I was throwing to DeCorey or Richard Smith or George Wilson or all those guys. So that's definitely, I think, going to enhance what Arnold had in Norman last year relative to what he has this year in Auburn. But you still got to see it, right? Like, you're not going to bet on Auburn to win 8 or 9 games based on what Arnold did last year. So maybe it works. You remember Freese last year, guys? He was like, it's the system. Like, the systems work. Well, sometimes you got to change your system based on the personnel. And I'm curious if they kind of handle that situation differently with Arnold this year than they did with Thorne and Brown last year.
Ty, big question is, how did karaoke go? And then tomorrow, if you had one question for Coach Pittman, what would it be?
So that's the big nights tonight, Matt. We're going to see apparently Springsteen is the song we're going to be singing by Eric Church. We're gonna have the boots on tonight. As far as Pittman is concerned, like I heard y'all talking about this a little bit earlier. I don't know if there's any one question that Pittman is going to answer that would satisfy Arkansas fans. I think the biggest question on the team is the wide receivers. Like, and not that the secondary and the defensive line and the tight end room. I guess if you want to lump the tight end and the wide receiver group together, it's like Taylor's going to be better. He's not going to be worse. And I say worse. I don't say that demeaning, but there were times last season where he made a lot of mistakes, especially holding on to the football. Not necessarily throwing picks, but the fumbles. So I think he's going to be personally better. I think the offensive line, knock on wood, is going to be better. But, like, it doesn't really matter if you don't have any playmakers. Like, the SEC is littered with 6'1", like 190 quarterbacks that will shut you down if you're not physical and you can't get open. And it doesn't matter what plays Taylor's making with his legs. If he doesn't have a consistent passing game and guys that he can count on, then it's going to be all for naught. So I want to know what Pittman thinks of his wide receiver group and obviously the impact of Ishmael Cisse's injury with his wrist.
I want to hear some names from Coach Pittman and maybe some of the defensive players that are there with him, Cam Ball and Xavier Sori. And Sori's one of them, and I think Ball will be too. Who are the defensive playmakers on this team? TJ Metcalf was a bit of a playmaker last year, gone to Michigan. Landon Jackson made plays. He's in the NFL. Sori makes plays. That's true. But you look at big plays defensively, they created 13 turnovers. 10 of them were Auburn and Mississippi State. You got to create more turnovers, and it's I'm not like pointing out where are they coming from. Who are your defensive playmakers this year?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question to ask, especially like defensive line. It starts up front, wrecking havoc, getting in the backfield, and the best pass rusher had's now playing in the National Football League in Lando. So I think it's that's got to be scary if you're Deke Adams and you're Sam Pittman, and maybe they feel more confident than fans do. But like the secondaries, which was one of the worst, if not the worst, in pass yardage given up last season, some of the time it was just because they had to guard their guy for 5-6 seconds. And that shouldn't be the case. Like, you've got to get more of a pass rush. What pass rush does, it gets in the quarterback's head. He's off his game. Obviously, there's turnovers that can occur in the backfield. And that's where it starts to me, guys, because I felt like, with the exception of the Ole Miss game and maybe the LSU game to a certain extent, defense gave you a chance to win every ball game last year. And you hope they, with a better offense, knock on wood, that with Taylor being better, that they'll at least kind of be similar or maybe slightly better than they were last year.
Who's the best dressed so far?
Diego Pavia. I mean, he wore a tux. He wore a tux, which was pretty cool. I looked at some old pics. Matt, I was trying to find your old pic. I had him erased. You took them off the internet. You scrubbed them.
He got them AI'd out. They're all gone.
You had the flow back then, didn't you? In 04 when you came?
I started going bald, about when I was 23. So yes, I still had the hair rocking then. Yeah.
It was. I mean, Arch Manning looked like he was a fraternity president here earlier this week, but I mean, he had everyone around him. Matt, what is that like? Like, you were a guy that was highly publicized your senior year, just being here. What was it like? I mean, it's one thing to have local media. You got 10 or 15 guys and gals that got mics, but when you had like 30, 40 people asking you questions, what was that like, man?
Well, I don't know that it was ever, Arch Manning, that's royalty when it comes to football here in the States. The closest thing we got to royalty. I think he's handling himself well. What are do you think? I mean, he's the Heisman front runner and he's played 2 games. Are you buying? I mean, we know Texas is going to have just as much talent as anybody, just top to bottom. Do you think Texas wins 10 games this year?
So, Matt, I'm sorry, man. I broke up here. Can you repeat your question?
Are you buying the Arch Manning hype?
Man, there's so much that's being placed at his feet. I just don't know how he lives up to expectations. I mean, you think about his grandfather, obviously, what he did at Ole Miss. His uncle, what he did in Knoxville. His uncle, what he did in Oxford. And while Tennessee is going to have pieces around him, they've lost a lot these last 2 years. And the offensive line is something that I think you always look towards if you're Arch Manning and any quarterback for that matter. But do I think he's going to be a top 3 quarterback in the league? No. I would put Lagway, I'd put Sellers, and at number 1 I'd put Garrett Nussmeier in first team All SEC. But do I think he's a top 6 quarterback, or does he have that potential? Absolutely. I don't know if I'm putting him on the ballot at the end of the year.
Dark horse to make it to the playoff 12 in the SEC.
Ooh.
Is it Ole Miss's time? Does Alabama get to that 10th win? Does South Carolina stay hot? Who do you got other than, everybody's got Georgia, LSU, Texas going in. Who do you have somebody maybe on the outside you think can make the playoff 12?
I think South Carolina is kind of a trendy, popular pick. You think about how close, between Alabama, South Carolina, and Ole Miss, that set up last year. But, Phil, I heard you talking about this week. Missouri's schedule, my gosh. Based on that alone, I know that they're, again, new quarterback. They've got a lot of guys they've got to get ready for this season. But that you can't overlook scheduling, especially in the SEC, and how difficult it is. And them and Ole Miss seem to have really figured it out when it comes to getting at least a chance based on scheduling. So
Missouri doesn't even go on the road until, crying out loud, week 8.
Isn't that wild? Say that one more time.
Missouri doesn't go on the road until week 8 at Auburn.
Did Christian fall out of his chair?
Yeah, Ed McMahon over here screaming. That's right.
Isn't that wild? And they come to Fayetteville at the end of the year. But yeah, that schedule, and that's just like that's what I get so frustrated by sometimes. It's like, okay, should we be afraid to go on the road to Memphis or afraid to play Arkansas State? No, but like you just the setup already. And then Notre Dame, of course, coming in week 5. You just didn't do yourself any favors. And didn't do Sam Pittman any favors for that matter. But this is the schedule we're given. Napier was talking about earlier. Florida was a tough schedule in college football. You gotta embrace it, and that's what Arkansas has to do this year.
Ty, we reside in a Razorback bubble here in Arkansas, and even on the shows. You can listen to other shows and everything, but when you go to the league-wide events, I've never been to the SEC championship game, but I've been to the basketball tournaments, and you can go to Hoover, and you get a sense of where each program fits. Sometimes based upon the attention that everybody gives to those programs. And at SEC Media Days, what does it feel like the comprehension of Arkansas this year is? Because it feels like Arkansas is an afterthought for everybody else in the league.
Oh, they are. Tommy had a good question this morning talking about it. It's like, does that make you mad? Like, it's one thing for us to think that we are just going to be a 500 team, but when someone else says, well, you're just a 500 team, that irritates you. Yeah, they are. And until they prove otherwise, it's hard not to look at them that way. The team hadn't won more than or been over 500 in the league since 2015. So, like, how do you, if you're a logical person, like, how do you look at Arkansas and say, this is finally going to be the year they break through? I hope I'm dead wrong. And I hope that stat changes after this year in 2025 where we can say they're 5-3. But it's hard to push optimism. The other element that Tommy's talked about is like fans don't know any of the players. Like, you can do that in Oxford after you won 9 games. You can do that in South Carolina because you got Sellers, and I know you got Talon back. But like when you add that on to a team that went 6-6 in the regular season 2 of the last 3 years, hard to get people excited when there's been such a transformation with that roster and there's been a lack of regular season success relative to what they won the last few years.
Ty, Coach Pittman usually finds a way to pull off one road win in the SEC. Oxford, Knoxville, Baton Rouge, and Austin. Those are our four. Which one do you give us the best chance in getting a road victory?
I think you go Oxford because of where it is in the schedule. They'll play Kentucky the week before. You've got Alabama A&M and Arkansas State prior to that game. There's revenge on the minds. I mean, you got housed in that game in Fayetteville last year. You got to have some pride. And Pittman, listen, that team's played on the road strong in Oxford under Pittman. 27-22 years ago, 53-52 or 51-52, whatever it was, back in 2021. They're not afraid to go in there and push Ole Miss to the limit. So, new quarterback in Austin Simmons. I like, if I'm going to have to pick one, it's not like any of them are easy. Tennessee would probably be next on that list. I'd say that you're hoping the LSU game being at 11 a.m. is a game worth having. I've been on the record that I think they're going to beat Texas in that game in November, but I still think if you're thinking logically and not where I'm coming from, it's probably that Ole Miss game.
Ty, dumb questions get dumb answers, and some coaches are really good at giving dumb answers to just about anything. I need you tomorrow to ask Eli Drinkwitz a very dumb question. How do you think about that?
We'll see what it lines up in the schedule. I'll do my best to hopefully tick him off.
I think it's in the middle of your show, though, so I don't know if you can pull it off. Ty, appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy tonight. There are no high notes in Springsteen, so you should be okay. Good luck.
Thanks, bud.
Ty Richardson from Radio Row at SEC Media Days in Atlanta. Coverage of SEC Media Days presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and Limbird Real Estate Group. They are your #1 real estate team in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. If it's time to buy or sell, go to LimbIrdTeam.com. That's LIMBIRD. Stay with Halftime, the home stretch. We are back right after this.
This is Halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It's almost summertime. That means barbecues, graduations, weddings, and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drug Store has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drug Store can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Join the one and only NBA champ Jalen Williams and OBI for a special blood drive at the Fort Smith Convention Center, July 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Donate blood and score a limited edition J. Will t-shirt plus 50+ lucky donors, and up to 3 guests each will have a chance to meet J. Will and snap a photo with the legend. Save lives, one day, one legend, one pint at a time. Spots are limited, so book now at obi.com/events.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Get past the people, get past the hitman. Get on down tonight. I wanna get on the good foot. Let all hang. Well, so be but it's about time. Let it all hang out. It's about time. People can find their hands up and dance to the music. It ain't my band. They're dancing on the good foot.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Even though there's been some flies in the ointment, we know a lot of dedicated listeners, even though you're a little frustrated with some of the technology that may not be working at 100%. Chris in Springdale, Matt, continues to listen to everything that he possibly can here on Halftime, which is no surprise. And he's a pretty optimistic guy. And, the idea that Arkansas is an afterthought at SEC Media Days and for football would be an afterthought. Says, well, Arkansas's got a track record of having a surprise season every so often, 95, 98, 2006, 21. So a person can believe that Arkansas could have a great year if they could see some parallels with those years. But he didn't see any practices. Yeah, there's no spring game, to think of what you saw just from at least that. So he has no idea what to expect. And I think when you don't have an idea of what to expect in the kind of the cycle that Arkansas is in, I think you expect worse than you saw before. That's my expectations are, I don't know what to expect from this team this next year because it's rebuilt. There just aren't enough of the same parts from the year before, and I don't know what to think of all these transfers that have come in are expected to serve huge roles. That's why I'm not making a prediction on number of wins. I'm not going to do it. We all can do it here. Other hosts can do it too. I'm not going to do it because we have no clue what to expect. And that's the whole idea of, Arkansas is an afterthought at SEC Media Days because I don't think anybody there knows what to expect either. So they just kind of pick where they had them last year.
The highest turnover rate as far as roster change in the conference. So you're exactly right. A couple things, I mean, you like your quarterback, you like your running backs, but there's still there's going to be a lot of new faces out there.
Well, all right, so you say you like your quarterback, you like your running back, but how much of their success has to do with the newcomers on their unit? actually like looking like they belong as good SEC players.
Yeah, you gotta, be cohesive. You gotta come together. It's really important for an offensive unit, offensive line to play together and accumulate starts. No question about that. Receivers understanding the concepts, the route concepts, and then also something that's underrated is how do the receivers block in the running game? We had one of the best ever. George Wilson and Richard Smith, man, those two guys would go down there and wear you out blocking, and every receiver doesn't do that. And that could be that you were talking about having explosive plays. That could be the difference to having a 47-yard touchdown run instead of a 27-yard long game.
And it's a whole new class of receivers, so we don't know what they're like when it comes to blocking. No idea whatsoever when it comes to blocking. Maybe the idea of the tight ends, but you get a whole new set of tight ends too. Yeah, bringing in the quarterback and all the. It's like the idea with Aloy, and I do like the comp between Taylon Green and Aloy, just because when Vahiva came in and you saw it with Taylon, there's just a raw ability,
exactly,
speed, a body type that you want for those positions. An amount of strength. I mean, look at the arm strength for Taylon Green. I mean, that's been evident. It's been evident from the first time we've ever seen him throw the ball. But with Vahiva's improvement, I felt like so much of it had to do with his own improvement, because baseball is more of an individual game within the context of a team. If you improve in the sport of football with all of your individual mechanics, all the complexities of the position of being a quarterback, that still, to me, stands apart from what about the other 10 guys on the field? And can they move in unison? And your 5 guys up front. Look, I would think it can only get better in terms of pass blocking from what Taylon dealt with last year. But he doesn't know who he's going to throw it to. He doesn't, he's got a sense of who it is he's handing off to, but it's not like he's worked with Mike Washington all that much, at least with Hill and Russell. There's more familiarity there. But like with a baseball player's improvement, I don't think it has as much to do with improvement of his team. With Taylon Green's improvement this year, doesn't so much of it has to do with just how everybody else performs. And is it improvement? I don't know. Well, hopefully an improvement upon what he had at those positions last year.
Well, and one of the things that's very important, and this is one of the things I preach, that these quarterbacks, you need more reps. So he's getting a whole other year. He should understand the playbook better. He should know where everybody's going to be. And I think we'll see that. Now, how talented is this group? I don't know, but understanding how to get us in the right play, he should be 10 times better. And him and Petrinos being in the meeting rooms and just go. I think he's going to. The way he handles the game, they call quarterbacks a game manager, and essentially they all are. Every quarterback's a game. But getting us into the right play, eliminating. We had so many times we'd get across the midfield, and it'd be 2nd and 8, we'd get blitzed, and then it's 3rd and 15, and we're out of field goal range. Like understanding that those type of plays, saving us from one of those and being able to still get points is big time, because it hurts your momentum when you do that. Then it's 3rd and 15. Now you can't really kick a field goal. Then you punt, and it's not really like the best thing for you.
I'm just worried about the continuity on the offensive side, because for the more reps that Taylon has in this offense, well, there's a whole group of receivers that have not had any repetition with this offense except whatever they went through in spring ball. And spring ball is a little bit different than it is when you're getting into the games. So it just feels to me it's almost like it's a catch-22. Taylon's there and he'll improve, but what about the rest of the crew?
I feel like the offensive line this year isn't getting as much talk because of last year they kind of got better. Is it easy just to assume that this O-line's going to be as good as they were last year, or even worse, or maybe better?
I just wonder. It was really rough on the edges for pass blocking.
Yeah.
And it also seemed at times missed assignments. Just somebody's coming in totally unblocked.
Yeah.
They're not ready for a blitz, or just two guys went to the same lineman and you're only not supposed to. I mentioned the Weeks play because Weeks, the linebacker from LSU, was with Kelly at Media Days when they started it on Monday. If I remember watching that play, Weeks was, completely untouched, right there by the goal line.
Yeah.
But there's experience coming in at those positions, and you're going to have experience at center with Kittler, and left tackle with Robinson, and left guard with Carmona. It's the rest of the line. You know, if Branham's healthy and if he's at right guard, well, good. I mean, then somebody that's got some experience with this offense, and I think he's coming back from this pectoral injury and should be ready to practice. Right tackle, is it Harris? Is it Shaq McCroy? No, there is experience with Harris there, but I think they wanted to play a guard, and McCroy seems to be I think the word is raw, Matt, because he's the 6'8", like 300-pound kid who, redshirted last year at Oregon. So I think he comes in with a certain pedigree, but just hadn't played all that much. But I think you'll have experience center, left side of the line.
I hope so.
Yeah. How do you run the ball? What are we in third down, both sides, offensive and defensive? Can you get off the field on third down? Can you change the field? Can you make plays on third down?
I just want to see Taylor Green get a few 30-yard fields to go by. So get the ball in the 30. Get the ball in the opponent's 40 before you first snap. That rarely happened for him last year.
Do we have a 1,000-yard rusher? Does Taylor Green lead the Razorbacks in rushing? Then we won't win very many games. You don't want Taylor Green leading the SC. You want to have a running back, even if it's by committee. You got to have a couple guys that can run the ball, or you're not going to win a lot of games.
Well, you think how often last year Taylor ran because
on a pass
of the feeling that he's about to be dragged down from behind. That's right, on a pass play. That's got to be, I don't know what the percentage is, but the amount of time that he runs on pass plays, I think you'd like to see that cut, maybe in half, to keep him upright.
When you run, it's opportune. And if he has green grass in front of him and can get the first down without taking a hit, let's go. Understanding coverage, understanding sometimes when you get blitzed, it's actually a better to hit your hot route, to hit a receiver in a seam, and that's how you can really gash him.
And if you are running the ball well, kind of like the Oklahoma State game last year, you were like running it down their throat.
First half.
Yeah, and then you just got to kind of stick with it.
Dropped a sweet pitch. And
then they started fumbling. Yeah,
dropped it just a very basic student body left sweep.
A student body left sweep, not just a regular average left sweep.
The old college football national. They have better games now on the college football. They don't call anything a student body.
This just in, Greg Sankey has announced that all overtime games in the SEC that advance to a third overtime will be decided by a field goal kicking contest past the 60.
I don't know if I like.
I'm joking. It's not true.
It kind of sounds gimmick. Yeah, that sounds.
Andy assumed that I ripped MLB for the ending of the All-Star game yesterday. He just texted in. He just got in on the show. Andy, I love the ending of the All-Star game yesterday. I'd rather they have pitchers, available, but if a lot of pitchers available, it was fine with it. Let's just keep the game-ending home run derby swing contest to All-Star games only and no other part of Major League Baseball. Because I like that they introduced, I think, to the wide public yesterday, that wasn't just minor league fans, the automatic ball strike challenge. That's going into the season next year, and that worked really well yesterday. The home run derby 10th inning swing-off thing worked well yesterday. It works well in no other position in the sport of baseball. So I liked it, but only for the All-Star game. All right, we're going to break. We're back to wrap up halftime after this.
I am the one who knocks.
This is halftime.
Make hay while the sun shines with Kubota hay equipment from Gray Brothers. Like quality-built Kubota disc hay mowers, known for their durability and beautiful cut. Kubota hay rakes and, of course, the BB Series Kubota round baler. Couple it with Kubota's M-Series cab tractor with 75 to 168 horsepower, and you'll have the prettiest hay on the market. With savings from Gray Brothers and special financing from Kubota, today is your day for a new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment at Fort Smith and Photo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Kuko's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Kuko's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
When Second's making a play, Short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3,
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
Many leather-bound books. My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Do you want to impress your wife? Then listen up. This is Sarah Ligon, owner of Lux House in Heritage Village. Lux House has everything: furniture, decor, candles, and all things home. I have a full line of custom designed furniture made right here in the USA. Check us out online at luxhouse.live or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. 479-357-0249. Lux House at Heritage Village, Barling. Here to help you stay out of the doghouse for years to come.
I want you in the worst way.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town, and they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Heard the rumor from your girlfriend sister that you knew me, and you end up dancing closer to me. That I broke the rule already. She asked me if I'm single, going steady. I just dropped my head and took a step off into the dark.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It's one of those rare things where there's no NBA game, there's no Major League Baseball game, there's no Major League Baseball activity, no NFL, no college football game, no college basketball game. I know there's like WNBA games and NBA Summer League and all of that, but none of the major leagues are getting going today at all. Literally nothing happening at all, except for SEC Media Days. And I don't know.
Get the British Open happen.
That's coming. This starting tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
what was the name of the place Grant mentioned that it's at? I don't remember what this
Port. It's in Northern Ireland.
Is it a place they'll kick you out if you destroy one of their lockers?
Portmouth, maybe?
Is it easier to destroy a European golf locker than it is one in America? Are these smaller? So one thing my daughter lets me know, because she's got another few days left in Europe. She was in Prague when she FaceTimed me yesterday. So what do you think of Europe?
Port Rush.
There it is. What do you think of Europe? Well, all the hotel rooms are really small. That's the first thing she said. Sometimes I wonder if the instinct as a teenager is to point to the first negative thing you can think of instead of the fun stuff. She went to the fun stuff after that, but it was the smallness of the rooms. That was the first thing that got to her. I brought up earlier, a week from today, I start this Grand Canyon trip through the Colorado River with my son and my father. We will not be showering for a week because they don't have showers there. I guess the river itself can clean you. So we're bringing dude wipes. Jim asked us, what would that be in Britain? We don't know exactly what it could be. Gentleman wipes. TC sent that in. That's pretty good. Flash sent one in that I don't know if I'd feel comfortable saying. It's a WW and it's not Wonder Woman. Bloke wipes work pretty well. I like gentleman wipes though. Would that sell in the United States?
A handy dandy.
Could work pretty well too. I'm a little. It's like I like to shower though. It's
That's going to be fun. Y'all might see A-Rod out there, him and his shaman. So that might be, you never know who you're going to run into.
Well, if I see Aaron Rodgers out there, I'm going to say, why don't we go on a long walk together out there? What's in your pocket? Do I need to try any of this stuff? Tell me what this does for you.
Half.
Yeah, you don't want to go all the way the first time, right? We go in one of those real quiet rooms. No, but it's going to be great, Matt. We're going to be sleeping outside, under the stars, next to the river or whatever campsite is right there with us.
Where'd you say y'all were going again?
It's the Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow.
You've heard of this place, right?
I have heard of the Grand
You're
Canyon.
going to be howling at the moon, man. That's going to be cool.
Well, they tell you got to bring your own liquor. So they don't provide it for you, but you're allowed to bring your own. So I don't know how much howling there will be, but there will be maybe some.
A little crooning.
Dad doesn't go on a vacation without Crown Royal.
What's the wildlife situation? Like you're
Bigfoot.
going to be out in the elements.
I'll be looking for Bigfoot. I'll be looking for mountain climbing goats. I don't know. I mean, there'll be fish around there. I know. I don't know what other if they're going to be like a bear or whatever. I've been to the national. I've been to Yellowstone. I've been to what was the one in California that I've been to with Half Dome? Yosemite. Saw bears there. I don't know if you got that in the Grand Canyon. Bears might be all over the place. Might have more bears here for all I know. I'm not sure. But it'll be 7 days. It'll be 7 days without any sports, without any.
Like a little reset.
It literally will be a reset. And watch me show up in August, bright, shining, just ready to roll for football season and have a month of wait for it to actually get going. All right. Rockin' and Dak coming up in just a few, and hopefully everything's working for them. Thanks for sticking around with us for halftime today, and we'll try to do it all again tomorrow. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out shortly. We got a taco to go get all together. That's halftime for Matt, Christian. I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
The Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports